Hold up.
Everybody did this. This was the greatest thing
This
ever.
was a group chat bonding experience that we did. It was me and Tim and me and Emil and a
I
couple
just
other
got
friends.
abused.
And you did not get it. I got
I did.
abused.
I got abused. I sent this around. So this fucked me up.
Oh, you sent it to other group chats as
Yeah,
well?
this fucked me up.
Okay,
I was not thrilled.
So my S tier, this includes fast casual restaurants as well, or fast casual places as well as like casual restaurants. All right. So my S tier was Kava, Chipotle, Culver's, Dave's Hot Chicken, Dunkin'. I was gonna say Dunkies, but only like people in Boston really know it as Dunkies. Dunkin' Donuts and Taco Bell. That's my S tier.
So I think it's more interesting to say what I said was trash, and I put Cheesecake Factory in terrible.
That is such a bad take. No,
I said I would
on,
rather have, and I got heat for this one. They said
I understand why.
no, they
already.
gave me heat for this one.
I already
Streets gave me
understand
heat
why.
for this one. So I said that I would rather have Olive Garden if I was going to have bad Italian.
I mean, no. Here's the thing.
Did I cook? I worked.
You did because here's the thing. I don't get Italian from Cheesecake Factory. Cheesecake Factory hits on American cuisine, Asian cuisine, yeah, and that's pretty much it. They have good
You're correct.
American Asian cuisine. Like they have like the Yusuf, put your glasses back on, you clown.
What the fuck did you just say?
Wait, so but I
cheesecake?
cooked though, right?
You go to Cheesecake Factory for what now?
Not for
He said
Asian
he
cuisine.
for Asian
I go to
cuisine.
Cheesecake Factory because Cheesecake Factory is phenomenal. No matter what you get, you can't go wrong because there's a million fucking options.
Well,
and
yeah.
there's
My
so many
thing-
different things.
So my thing
But
with Cheesecake
they don't have
Factory-
great Italian.
My thing
What
with
I
Cheesecake
get is the
Factory,
truffle
no.
honey chicken.
Okay,
I get the truffle honey
fine.
chicken.
There are certain things at Cheesecake Factory that do hit. However, everything can and will kill you, which is why I don't go there. Plus,
Everything. Wait,
there's not.
It's the
elaborate.
cheesecake,
Hello.
though.
Wait.
No, well, the cheesecakes.
What it's known for.
The cheesecakes are great. There's just so much sugar. I'm just getting.
What's the
old. Maybe
cheesecake?
it's just
What's the go-to cheesecake? For
Lemon
me,
meringue.
it's the Oreo. Lemon meringue.
Yeah,
I like lemon meringue pie.
lemon meringue pie is.
I
Great.
mean, I'm sure it's
We're
delicious,
hungry.
but you don't go to No, I just had Cane's actually.
Can we
That's
stop
in my
being
A
big back?
tier, by the way.
Cane's
is in my A
definitely
tier. The Big Back order is the box combo, no slaw,
Might.
extra toast, extra cane sauce, and
Might have to go back
half
to
and half.
Might have to go back to Acme. We don't have any.
I
Big
haven't had
Bacs.
Cane's
I'm sorry,
in
Acme.
So long. What the fuck is
Bro,
Acme?
I've never been into an Acme. It's like a Stop and Shop
No,
or like
I
a Wegmans,
know,
as far as I
know.
understand
I had to
it.
think about it. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh
I don't know
yeah,
what
I
that
just
is.
localized myself.
My A tier, I put Blaze Pizza,
Whatever.
but my friend worked there once and like before and said that it's really low quality ingredients, so I got to move it down. Cookout, fire, A tier.
We're 3 minutes in. We haven't said a lick of wrestling.
This is
Who
a
cares? We're
wrestling
getting there.
podcast.
Raw's on Netflix.
Raw's on Netflix?
That was good.
What?
That was good. Y'all, welcome to Kickout Club Wrestling. My name is Tyler. I'm joined today by who am I kidding? You fucking know who's joining me because they always join me.
Yeah, at
It's
this point,
Emil and
you
Yusuf.
can
Yeah.
cut the I'm joined by someone because it's just the two of us at this point. Like, there's
Can I
nothing
get a
different.
yer?
I will say
Yer?
I did reach out to Colin this week, and if
Oh,
any
man.
of you guys know Colin, have listened to us from the very beginning. First off, thanks for that because like we've been so
Yeah.
inconsistent that like I'm surprised anyone would stick around from the beginning. But for those that don't know, Colin was the fourth man on the pod.
The fourth Beatle.
Before
Yeah,
he was the
exactly.
Beatle. Oh.
He really was. But wait, who's who? That's the question.
Is he Ringo?
I feel like
He could
I'm
be.
Ringo.
I can't do this because I don't have like enough in
Am
so
I John?
I like don't.
I am the leader.
You're George.
I am the one that puts everything up. If
So
it
I'm
weren't
Paul
for
McCartney?
me, if it weren't,
I'll take it.
honestly,
That's a W.
No,
for me.
hold on, wait.
wait,
That's
who's
what-
Some
George
of it.
though?
Am I George?
God, now we're talking about music. We need to.
Wrestling.
Ugh.
Things didn't happen.
Things.
Yeah, and
kinda,
We're
like
bored.
selfishly, I did make a bonus episode this week on our YouTube channel as well as on all podcast platforms talking about the John Cena Cody Rhodes promo from Raw this week. So if you already checked that out, thanks for checking it out. If you haven't already, please go check that out because it was fucking fantastic. And you can support us while you're checking that out. Give us a 5-star rating if you're listening on any podcast providing platforms, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Leave us a review, please. Tell us how amazing we are. Tell us how great or horrible our takes are. And you can be wrong if you say our takes are bad. Also, yeah, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube, we do it in video formats as well, so you can see our ugly mugs. You can like, share, subscribe, leave comments also about how good or bad our takes are. Continue to be wrong. Yeah, and follow us on TikTok. I've been posting all week on TikTok. I've been trying to challenge myself to post one a day, and I made it through week one. Today's was kind of a stinker. I was on the road, and I was kind of stretching it for content, but we did it, you know? That's that.
Anyway,
That's
a
my
whole lot
shilling
of
for the beginning.
Nothing happened.
So
Yeah.
the
this week in
Cena
wrestling.
promo.
The Cena promo, and then what happened
So
on
some of-
SmackDown earlier.
so
I'll
some
let
of
y'all.
us-
I'll let y'all lead the
Some
charge
of us
here
didn't
because
get to cook here.
Yeah, I'll let y'all
Timmy?
lead the charge on this one because I already said my piece and I will review at the end. So y'all have at it.
Timmy.
Let's start from the beginning. So we show the promo of John Cena turning heel because apparently we can't remember what happened 3 weeks ago. And we sit in silence, which was beautiful, by the way. It was beautiful silence. Time stopped.
The crowd was almost booing before the music hit.
And then the music hit. And the collective aw and then boo was maybe the greatest thing I've ever seen. Like, that sound lives in my head rent-free right now. And here comes John Cena to come out in the same thing. Thoughts, comments, concerns?
I mentioned this and I posted a TikTok about it. So I won't go into crazy detail. At first I was like, "Oh, really? Like that's kind of lame." But I also was like, I'm gonna let it cook. He's here to talk. Let's hear him talk. Let's see if he addresses it. And he did directly, saying, you don't deserve new attire. This whole thing is not for you. It's for me. So for him to go out there and be like, this is not for you. Also, my voice is on my entrance music. That's about me. Like, your time is up. My time is now. He's basically taking the Cena brand and flipping it on its head to apply in a whole different meaning and put it in a whole new light. Masterfully done. Masterfully done.
He tricked us because we were all like, "Oh, we know what he's gonna do." We saw it because he said it, and the clip and the clip magically resurfaced. Bang.
I think that clip was made not to discredit it, because yes, very valid. Like that clip, he did say, in the event I turned heel. However, that was in the fallout of what, Mania 28, I believe. Yeah, so that was like the late 20 or mid 2010s.
Once again, The Rock.
Early to mid 2010s.
2012.
2012, thank you. Yeah, like that was a while ago. So that was in the context of 2012 WWE, Vince McMahon's WWE. It's a different era. We're telling different stories. We're telling better stories. We're telling more nuanced stories. I'm about it. I'm a fan of this.
Where's The Rock? Not in this promo. So let's keep going, right? So Cena walks very slowly to the ring. No little look at cameraman Stu. Stu wasn't there. Big heel moves.
I want Cena to push the camera like Stu's camera. Be like, "Fuck out my way, Stu."
Nah, man. Stu went here with him. He wasn't even there, man. He went Hollywood. He was directing the camera.
Stu is the heel. Stu heel turn where he only shows the camera on Cena. He's the director. He's pulling the strings.
He's pulling the strings. He's the
he's the man. He's the man. Yeah. He's the wizard.
All right. No. Rock is the wizard. Fuck, you made me. He doesn't run. He shows his towel and then walks with his towel. He doesn't throw it, which is just funny. He doesn't slide into the ring. He gingerly climbs up the steps because he's old and will break his hip. We get into the ring and then we have a great 20-minute promo that probably could have been 10 minutes, but it was still good. He kind of started repeating himself. No?
I feel like, he did get a little repetitive. I feel like he's not really at fault for the promo being long and him repeating himself. I feel like it was because, and I didn't talk about this a whole lot in my solo breakdown, but like there was a lot of back and forth and interplay between Cena and the crowd in this promo, and I feel like if the crowd were a different crowd, it would have been a whole different promo, a lot shorter, a lot less entertaining in my opinion, because I think this was phenomenal. But hey, to each their own.
No, this was lit. This promo was lit.
Oh, for sure.
Kind of blaming us, which is fair. Kind of going through his whole career and how like he's gonna, win and we're not gonna like it. He's gonna lose and we're gonna not like it. Like we're never satisfied. All that was like awesome, and it's kind of true. We kept talking about what's he gonna do for us.
What do we get? What do we get? What do we get? You get nothing. I loved it. I loved it.
Nothing.
He was a little dorky at times. His yell is still the same like tone and timbre as like the
same,
face
like,
Cena. That's like slightly goofy.
Come get some.
Yeah, a little bit, but like it's fine. It's just like at this point, I've accepted it as Cena's delivery. He's been doing this shit for 25 years the same way. almost all 25 of those years the same.
And it
way.
works.
So and it does work. Exactly. You're right. So listen, I'm cool. Again, it's taking. I like that he hasn't changed a thing. I like that we're able to take Cena as a person, and he doesn't have to fall for all of the generic tropes of being a heel. He does some of them, like, you know, changing the way he walks out to the ring, but like that's like the most obvious. That's the low-hanging fruit of it, right? But like changing the brand, changing the attire, changing the demeanor, like, or changing the tone, I should say, because he did change the demeanor. But like that's cool. Like that's fine. Changing his values, his personal values, that's cool. It's just he changed how he applies those values. I think that was fantastic. I think it was fantastic.
Very smart heel. I'm not a heel. I'm not a good guy. I'm a human being.
Rise above hate as he looks dead in the camera and goes, "You're pathetic." It's crazy. Crazy.
The opening line was so Thanos-esque. Was, you know, you don't have to tell
when one
you're
is
great
confident with himself or something like that, you don't have to look to others for approval.
Yeah, you don't
or
have to
some
look
shit.
for approval when you know you're great.
I hope he
I was like,
opens every heel
damn.
promo with a Cena Twitterism, because that's like all he posts on Twitter is like motivational content. I hope he comes out with a new line every week.
That's very Cena. It was great. It felt very Thanos.
Yeah, man. It did. It felt very like philosophical. Like it felt, I don't know. It felt like there was like ulterior motive behind it. You know, it's like when you read a book and the beginning of the chapter has like a little quote or something. That's fine. I've been on a reading kick, but there's like a little quote in there that like summarizes what's going on. It kind of sets the stage for what's going to happen in the chapter. It's kind of what I felt like.
The back and forth with the crowd was awesome. The crowd played right into his hands, and then some.
And then Netflix bleeped it out,
which is strange, but is a conversation for a different day. I
mean, it's technically still TVPG, but it's just very loose.
Being on Netflix is strange, and they did that so they didn't have to keep doing that, along with the massive amount of money that they're getting. Yeah, that's weird. But the back and forth was great, and then
Cody comes out for 2 minutes
and does nothing.
Says nothing.
He does ask who the hell this guy is, which is interesting because we're all trying to figure that out. So it's a nice little cliffhanger line, but it doesn't mean anything.
Right. It just like, I feel like the past two promos Cody cut to the camera, not to Cena's face, is exactly what he should have said to Cena's face here. And so in my opinion, like I had said already, I don't think Cody was necessary at all. Like I really think the segment would have ended on a stronger note if Cena just cut his promo and walked out to no music.
No, because they kept hyping up that they're in the building, so they have to like do something in the ring.
But like without the build of, I understand that, right? Because that's what they built. But like if you didn't build to them two in the same building and Cena just came out and cut his promo and left, I probably would have been more satisfied. Because at the end of that, I literally was like, "That's it? That's all Cody's gonna do?" And then Twitter also went crazy with like, Cody called him a bitch and ran away because he knew Cena would cook him on the mic. And I'm like, damn, you know what? That's facts. I'm not gonna lie.
Cena's gonna eat this guy alive.
Oh man, I'm scared. Because then I also was on TikTok today on the drive home, and I saw. I don't drive while on TikTok, by the way. I don't drive, period. So like, I was in the back of the van while on TikTok. Yeah, and I came across a TikTok of Randy Orton and John Cena in 2013 when they were doing the unification match. And there was this big promo in the ring because they made this a huge deal, and it was Cena and Orton and all the biggest players and like Triple H and Shawn Michaels and all these people. And Cena fucking cooks Randy Orton. He pulls up Daniel Bryan like he's like a kid in the crowd. Like he's like, "You little boy, come over here. Like, what's your name?
Make your wish.
What's your name?" Daniel Bryan. And like he goes on this whole thing, asks some questions, basically to like tell Randy Orton like, "You're Bob Orton's son. You came in here as a blue chip prospect that everyone knew, and you had the name recognition, the legacy carried on from your father. This guy, Daniel, his dad was I think he said his dad was a log scaler, like only Washington State things, but only Pacific Northwest thing. But was like, this guy had to work hard for this. Like this guy worked his ass off to get where he is, and you just walked in the door and everyone already loved you off the bat. And basically like cooked. Long story short, he cooks Randy Orton, and I'm scared to see him do that to Cody Rhodes because honestly, same thing for Cody Rhodes. He was Dusty Rhodes' son.
But we've done that already.
It's fine. We might not do. I hope we don't do that. but we could.
So you know what I really love about all of this? Where was The Rock?
I think more importantly, where was Travis Scott?
Nah, I'm cool.
I'm totally kidding.
No, but seriously,
Real quick before we get to that segment, we have a third man in here who has been very quiet, and I'm very curious to get his thoughts as well. Yusuf, what do you think about this, man? Just of like the Cena promo alone, and we'll get to Rock stuff.
Here's the problem. Y'all took everything I was going to say anyway, so I'm like, should I even talk in this?
Yes, absolutely, you should talk.
Fucking hell. Y'all already basically summed up everything. Look.
Cook.
Him not coming out with new music, new outfit, everything is both of you stop fucking doing that right now. I really am the old man of this podcast. Him not coming out with new music, him not coming out in new attire, nothing. He came out in the jorts. He came out in another Last Time Is Now. Where were they? Barcelona?
Belgium.
Yes,
Sorry,
that was
Barcelona.
Brussels.
Okay, they were in Brussels. You know, another Last Time Is Now shirt. He's still riding the whole "this is my retirement" tour thing. I think it's
But he's doing it.
Ideal. I think it makes sense that we're getting this from John. Because he's going, and his promo was great. I loved it. It definitely didn't need to be long, but what do you expect? European crowds are going to take over anything like that, especially, the situation we're currently in. But he talks about how they deserve nothing. This is such an old reference. If any of you know the 1971 Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory movie with Gene Wilder, it's like one of my favorite films of all time. At the end where Charlie and Grandpa Joe get all the way to the end and Wonka's like, oh yeah, no, you got it here, but you did this one thing earlier, so you get nothing, you lose. It felt like that, right? Like we've gone through 20 years of John's career. 20 years of ups and downs and boos and cheers and everything like that under the sun. And he makes a very, very good point of he did everything he could for the people to like him. And something I always think about is when you're growing up, and especially like our age, if not a little older than us, around the time of when Cena got here, right? You learn to like him at first, and then you hate him. You kind of loved him again. And then as you get older, you realize you respect John Cena. But you don't like John Cena. Right? And that's such a big difference is you don't like the guy. You respect him, but you don't like him. No? Right. Tim does, but that's okay.
He said, I like him.
Tim does.
I'm a meal. I like him.
So him
Come on.
cutting the promo and, talking about how they don't deserve anything. They don't deserve new music. They don't deserve a new attire, new nothing. Right? We're getting the same old Cena, just crankier, angrier, because he has done everything he tried in his hardest for 20 years, especially maybe not the last 5 years because he's been part-time. But if we look at, 18 prior, he did everything he fucking could to get people on his side. Yes, Tim.
So he's old man grumpy?
He is old man grumpy.
Okay.
Yes. That's basically it, right? Like, all he wants now is to do this for him. Like, to quote a phrase that CM Punk is a fan of, he's doing business for himself now. That's what we're getting here. That's the John we're getting, is that he's doing business for himself. Sides with The Rock, because all he wants now is that final world title, right? But it's so simple yet effective that, we're not getting new music. We're not getting anything. At this point, I don't even think we're going to get anything new when WrestleMania comes around. Which, honestly, fucking fine by me. Yes, Tim.
But what about the whole who the hell is this John Cena? So what if he pulls up showing who the hell he is at Mania with all new shit?
What if he doesn't need to do that with new stuff? He doesn't necessarily need to, right? He doesn't necessarily need to come out.
Oh, sorry.
No, he doesn't necessarily, come Mania, like when he walks out to the ring. He doesn't need to have new music. He doesn't need to have new jorts, new ring attire, whatever it might be. All he's got to do is work a little different, and that's it. We saw Cena kick a man in the dick to start off the greatest heel turn of all time. Something he has never done before. Even when he was a heel during his Thugonomics days. He made a lot of dick jokes. He never kicked anyone in the dick. right? We're just going to see Cena act rougher. We're going to see him be a lot rougher with talent. We're going to see him be a little rougher with fans. That's probably what I'm assuming moving forward. And then Cody came out. I liked the whole, quiet kid, and Cody's like, I'm not a kid, and you're like, oh no, they're gonna fight, and then nothing happened. I'm like, you fucking dumbasses. God damn it, punch someone. Oh, well.
I love Cody, but that had me cringing.
It was 2 minutes of nothing. It was
first off-
actually 2
first
minutes
I was
off-
of
confused that
nothing.
Cena went that. I was confused that he went that route when Cena's, what, 8 years older than him?
Yeah, he's not that much older than Cody. I
Yeah,
think he's about to turn 40.
true.
Cody's just turned 40.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I think, like, first off, I thought it was like, Cody was like coming out there to hear him out. He said, I was gonna come out here and hear you out, but you're just kind of you're a dick basically. And then Cena's like, listen, kid, enough. And I'm like, Cody, he said 2 words like since you got out there. Like, are you expecting him to not talk if he's out there by himself? Like, I don't understand, Cody.
He said
He
words.
said he's
for
a whiny
15
bitch
minutes,
and ran.
that too.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But then Cody saying, it's not kid, it's WWE champion. I'm like, oh, dude, that is cringe. Like, yeah, we know you're the champion. You still don't know how to hold it. I love you, Cody, but you still look weird.
I lost my
Almost
train
like-
of thought. Never mind. There it is. The last 2 weeks of Cody cutting promos to no one didn't help. It didn't help. It gets the train rolling, sure, but it doesn't do anything.
What do you mean? He was there. He was just invisible.
I've been the butt of a stupid invisible joke for 15 years.
Before Tyler attempts to go for even further viral using impressions, let's finish this point off. So, I don't know how the next, what are we at, 4 weeks left till Mania? 5 weeks? 4 weeks. We have 4 weeks until WrestleMania. This is looking to be the biggest feud, I don't know, I'd say since last year, right? I hate both of you. This is probably going to be the biggest feud since last year, and all we've got right now is Cody talking to no one. Again, by the way, which happened on SmackDown earlier. Like, doesn't help Cody. We'll get to that later. Maybe. And ¿Dónde está John? I get it.
Son.
He's running the whole, Hollywood thing now, like Dwayne, right? We're getting closer to Mania here. We should, if he's going to come out and cut a promo like that, he should probably do this in person again soon.
Donde fuiste? Donde? Fuck. Where's The Rock? I just guessed. I'm sorry.
So, like,
Well, you said John, and I just put son on the end. Because where's Johnson?
Yeah.
Where's Dwayne
Where's
The Rock Johnson?
You know,
Rock
the
Dwayne
thing,
Johnson.
The thing with Dwayne that I don't.
Dwayne.
Okay, let me say this.
I like
it
that one.
confuses me. I love that.
Dwayne.
What confuses me about the absence of Dwayne the John Roxon is what part does he actually have in this at this point? What does he want?
He's Oz. So
No,
this
I
is the
know
theory
he's
I came up
Oz.
with.
Okay, but let me just say this before we get to the theory. I do want to ask this question. Like, realistically
And then we'll
speaking,
clip.
what
clip farm
he
after.
wanted Cody's soul. Does he want a champion to represent him? Does he want the belt? Does he want to be the 9-time W? Which, by the way, I found out The Rock held the WWE title 8 times, and I'm like, are you really 8 times? That's a fucking lot.
They usually combine when they say things like this.
Yeah,
So he's been the world heavyweight champion at least twice,
I was gonna say, yeah, that makes more sense.
and then he won it.
It's a weird visual. Him with the big gold is a weird visual.
Yeah, a little.
I like him with the big gold. Underrated look.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, what is Dwayne's part in all this? Realistically,
He's Oz. This is the Oz.
well, yeah,
theory.
he's the man behind the curtain.
He's literally the man behind the curtain, and now he's gone again, right?
Yeah.
Oz sent the flying monkeys, and now where's Oz?
I think we're building.
It's fine. We'll see it at the end of the part 2, but whatever.
I low-key think we might. If I don't even want to make predictions on Rock. I'm so tempted to make predictions on Rock wrestling, but I don't. I can't. I just can't because I can't fucking keep up with the man.
What if he's the one who wrestles CM Punk?
I can see it, but when?
But why?
How
Exactly.
How?
No. So here's my thing. I think that
Did I overcook? Did I
yes,
miss?
we were a little burned. Well, maybe at least for right now. I don't know how long. I don't know what you set the temperature for. Like how far out we work in this. Because if it's like far out, then the temperature's got to be low. But
No,
you may...
I was working in like 4 weeks.
Oh yeah, dude, overcooked, burnt. It's burnt to a crisp.
Fuck.
Charcoal. Nah,
Right.
but like, here's my thing. Like, I kind of I did make. I posted about that, about like where is Rock, and people were like, I didn't know he was full time. Like, why you say, like, we said he's not full time, so why is he expected to be on every week? He's not, dumbass. I'm just figuring, like, I don't know, he'd show up once.
Well, we
Would be
did set
mentioned.
precedent.
Yeah.
We did this. I did this last week. Remember, he was there the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, he was.
He did a SmackDown and then skipped the Raw and then like went to another like. But
he did Raw on Netflix. He did the SmackDown where he wanted Cody's soul. He did the press conference after the fact. He did Elimination Chamber. He did mad stuff.
Rock's been around, and now all of a sudden he's disappeared. And also, nobody's talking about him.
But here's the thing. Here's why I think it's a good thing he's gone right now. Because the second The Rock was on screen, when John Cena turned heel and Cena is standing with The Rock in the same ring, and they're both targeting Cody Rhodes, it made Cena look like a lackey. And I think Rock being gone makes this so Cena is actually not looking like a lackey and looking important. And I think they're very consciously doing that to make sure that Cena does not look like a lackey.
So we don't see Rock till Vegas then.
I think we don't see Rock until maybe
Vegas.
I could say he's
Night 2.
no. I think we see him after Cena beats Cody.
Raw after.
No, after Cena beats Cody.
Probably.
Or Raw after. But I really I don't see a WrestleMania that Rock doesn't show up at. He has no reason to be at night 1. The only time he would show up is during the Cody Cena match at the moment, and I think that him being involved before or during the match would be stupid. Because again, it would just overshadow Cena. Because that's just Rock right now. Yes, Yusuf.
Okay, the problem is we can't have him show up on the Raw after Mania after John beats Cody. We can't have that happening because it's going to make John look like a lackey again. John will have the title. He will be like, I did it. Fuck all of you. And then Dwayne comes out, probably, I don't know, pats, on the bald spot of his fucking head or something. And he's like, John, my champion. Good job. You did it for The Rock. And everyone's going to be like, are you fucking serious? This is what
Naomi's going to be kicking herself backstage.
No, exactly. Like, that's just it, right? Like,
somebody posted like that the whole family was killing it and the Naomi picture was up there. And I'm like, did we watch the same segment?
Yes.
Okay.
no.
Naomi, I until Naomi when it was
Look at
like
this hard left we just took.
okay, it wasn't bad once the reveal happened. That's my take. Once the reveal happened and Naomi turned heel officially in that segment, it was good. But that being said, I don't think Rock should be involved in anything with John Cena versus Cody Rhodes until after it's done, which I think would be the main event. And I think if Cena beats Cody, Rock should then come out, reap the benefits of what he wanted. He wanted to take the title off Cody. He wanted a champion. Cena's now Rock's champion. Rock comes out, presents Cena with the title, and then that's it. I think that's all we need to see of Rock. And
What if it's a new
then,
belt?
but there is I don't want a new belt, but there's a potential. But also, interesting thought. Because in my opinion, the long direction of this, the long game with this, because Rock said he likes to play long game. So the long game for what I think it is this is further cementing Cody as the big baby face. I think it's pretty obvious that that's what this is. The year is going to be Cody trying to work his way back up to John Cena, turn him back to the light. Emil's going to complain because he complains about everything that, involves Cody Rhodes that he doesn't like.
Boring.
We don't know how it's gonna be yet, so why do we know it's
him
boring?
Do the climb though.
Yeah, but this is different.
Just
this
to
is
be-
different. You're not. Let me cook.
No.
SummerSlam, 2-night event. The first
Only
2-night
excited 'cause I'm
SummerSlam.
going.
Same. The first 2-night SummerSlam at MetLife Stadium. The last time WWE did a big stadium show at MetLife Stadium. Emil, can you tell me what the match was? The main event.
It was not because WrestleMania 35.
The one before that. Sorry.
Here's the goalpost.
You got me.
Here's where we're at.
It's fine.
And here's where you're going.
It's fine, but listen, Rock's
My
back.
bad. I got you. MetLife Stadium.
It was Rock Cena, but it
twice
wasn't
in a lifetime. I
it
got
was
it.
two Manias ago. Thank you, but it's okay. I was really trying to go for it. It's fine. However, Rock returns to the same stadium he beat John Cena at, or he lost to John Cena at.
there you
Yes, I know. I'm butchering. It's fine. And then faces Cody.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Oh,
Rock,
wait, no,
Rock
no,
and
yeah,
Cody.
yeah.
Rock and Cody. Non-title. Rock and Cody.
Non-title, why?
Rock's going to
Oh,
win the
'cause
title.
So Rock can have it. So yeah. So
Cody
Rock
has to
the
beat
title.
Rock to get to Cena to get the title back.
Whatever. So what does Cena do in the meantime? Dream matches?
Punk.
I'll be honest, I'm also in agreement with Tim on that side.
Punk, Orton,
AJ.
you pick.
Is Money in the Bank going to be in Chicago?
No. The
No,
rumor is
it's
California.
in San Diego?
Oh.
It's one of the
Or
big California
crypto.
cities. San Diego, LA, or
No,
San
into
Francisco.
it.
I think
Dome. Into it. Dome. Into it. Dome.
it's Intuit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, it is Intuit? I thought it was crypto. Okay. Intuit.
No, I think they
So
almost
then,
Unconfirmed,
confirmed
but that's
it,
the
but
rumor.
can we get Punk and Cena in Chicago, or is that just not an option anymore?
That depends on when the next major show in Chicago is.
They haven't announced the Chicago show yet.
Not yet.
They have right now. There's
There is a Chicago SmackDown, by the way. I don't know if we got that.
There
off
is a
us.
We
Chicago
did.
SmackDown, yes.
the rumor, right? But not the rumor. What's been rumored / confirmed for PLEs is Clash in Paris, SummerSlam in New York. I believe Survivor Series was rumored for. Anyone know where Survivor Series was rumored for? There was definitely
No,
a
but
spot
they were
that
talking
they
about a stadium.
They were
Oh,
talking
were
about
they?
a
Oh, that's
stadium. Or
weird.
was it? Okay.
I feel like Rumble should get a stadium before Survivor Series.
I'm tired of these stadium shows, bro.
Oh my God! Not this motherfucker saying he's tired of something he was so excited about a year ago.
Because it was fun and it was in my hometown
Dog,
and it was lit.
I know.
So no, let me take off the nostalgia backpack. I got it.
I'm not trying to take off nostalgia backpack. I know Indianapolis sucked. You didn't have to tell me that they sucked.
Actually, no, Indianapolis was lit.
They did not. They were not lit.
I just like the Pat McAfee joke of it all. I think that's funny. No, because we're now making shows every show WrestleMania. So why is WrestleMania so special? And don't make it 3 nights. I don't got 3 nights of patience.
What stadium shows have we gotten?
Rumbles are now in stadiums.
Hasn't happened yet.
They just happened.
That was
Lucas-
a baseball stadium, different.
That was a college football stadium.
Lucas Oil
Was it?
Stadium?
Oh, this year. Okay, this year it
Yeah.
happened. Okay.
And it was, I mean, I would count baseball as a stadium.
You said you liked it though, so you said Indianapolis was lit, so
Yeah,
you
baseball-
liked that one.
Indianapolis was
Baseball is
lit.
counted
So
as
you
And
liked
then-
that one.
So we're not going to count Elimination Chamber as a stadium show because it is.
It is.
Okay.
Elimination Chamber was in fact a stadium show.
That's like
Elimination
not.
Chamber
That's not.
last year was a
It's not the
stadium show.
same though. It's not the same degree.
Royal Rumble with Sammy turning was a stadium show.
Was it?
Tropicana Field sucks and should never be gone back to
See,
again.
I don't consider
Yeah.
baseball fields the same as a football stadium
They
because
are
literally the
they
capacity
are
is
designated as stadiums, though.
I mean, I suppose, but I would
Like,
say
what
that
do you know?
it's different than.
What? Okay, different
An
in what
arena
way?
is
Hold on,
20,000.
hold on, hold on. Different in what way?
Okay, let's look at Elimination Chamber 2025 and look at the capacity there. 38,000. Do you want to know how many the capacity was for one night of WrestleMania in a football stadium? Almost double that.
80,000.
Oh, well, Dumble, yeah.
It's different. In my opinion, it's different. I get it,
they-
semantics to call them stadiums, but
No,
the
so you know what they
capacity is
do?
different.
You know what they do? Because they've had SummerSlam in stadiums since like they've came back from COVID. And
Correct.
you know what
yeah,
they do?
It's true.
They tarp off the entire top bowl.
Yeah, but they still get like 50, 60,000 people more than.
But
Okay,
like,
but you
why
have
are
to,
we
you,
why do we
hold on,
not
no,
why
no,
do we
no,
rent
no,
these
no,
spots
no,
if we
no,
don't
no,
want these spots?
hold on. You using Elimination Chamber this year is not a great example. I will gladly defend my fucking country on this one in the Rogers Center because
I love
we have-
Toronto and Canada, Yusuf.
We did
we
better in Philly.
have yes, but also the Rogers Center is one of the smaller venues in
Okay.
the
Okay.
sport.
Tropicana?
Our max capacity is 48,000 at the Rogers Center. They had the upper bowl fully open, but they had the back side of Rogers Center. Tim and I remember this completely tapered off because that's where they had production and pyro. So they were 10,000 short from what's technically the sellout at the Rogers Center.
Which is strange considering it's a 360, I'm pretty sure. So I
Yeah,
don't know
it
why
is.
they did all that.
They had a SummerSlam recently in a baseball stadium. Did they not recently?
Nope. They've had a bunch of Rumbles in baseball stadiums recently.
No, yeah, Rumbles have been at baseball stadiums.
Tropicana Field comes to mind.
They've done
which
Tropicana
we don't like to
twice,
talk
haven't they?
No, I think they did the Rays, wherever the Rays play.
Yeah, that's
Interesting.
Tropicana.
All right,
no,
then.
Yeah, because
It's
didn't
not.
they do Tropicana? Did they not?
They
do
did, I think it was
Tropicana
during
twice
Rays.
for Rumbles.
the Rays of Tampa Bay. There's the other one that plays in Florida as well.
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
it
the
called?
Baseball team, the
Marlins.
Marlins. That's in Miami. They're
yeah, that's
south.
Trop.
No,
that's
Tropicana is where the
Tropicana.
Rays play.
Google, please.
What are we Googling here? I'm losing track.
Tropicana Field. I know the Rays play in Tropicana Field.
Yeah,
I
that
know
is correct.
because-
Tropicana
I
Field
know
is where the Rays
because
play.
ownership was just talking about wanting to get the roof
Wait,
fixed
then where do the
because it got
Marlins play?
Miami.
Not Safecoat.
I
It's
understand
I can't remember the name.
Lone
of the
Depot Park.
Stupid fucking. Thank you, dumbass ballpark name. Yeah, they're there. That's like way sad.
Lame.
that. Either way, trash.
I get the argument. I don't know. I consider baseball stadiums usually there are a little less people than a stadium show, but whatever. Tomato, tomato.
All right, we've done this.
Okay. Any other thoughts on Rock? Because that's where we started this tangent. Was Rock coming back? I believe.
Well, we lost the plot, just like The Rock. Let's keep it moving.
The Rock doesn't
Alright,
give a shit about the plot.
Okay, so like
He's too
real
busy
quick,
wanting to be liked.
the only other notable element of Raw, which was kind of interesting, was they're kind of shaping up the Intercontinental title picture. Kind of cool. We closed the show. First off, the first match of the night after the Cena promo was a match between Penta and Ludwig Kaiser. Fantastic match. It was the actual only good match of the night, even better than Finn and Braun was. Penta got the win, obviously. And Penta and commentary and the show production entirely heavily hyped that Penta's next target is the Intercontinental Championship. So it looks like Penta versus Braun is coming down the pipeline. Maybe more people could be added if they want to make it a multi-man matchup, but right now it's looking like Penta versus Braun is in there. AJ seems to be busy with Logan Paul, so they kind of pivoted from Braun versus AJ. Finn and Dominic could be going in a one-on-one match, or they could be added to the Intercontinental title picture. You could also throw in Ludwig Kaiser. You could also throw in Pete Dunne if you wanted to. Just give me Penta versus Braun at this point. Give me Penta versus Braun. Emil hates it because he hates anything that's cool.
I don't want to hate this. I like Penta, and I think this is cool and all. But
So don't hate it.
But I think this is just not. I mean, what else does Penta do? Actually, so yeah, no, I'm cool. Never mind. It's just not worth it.
I was going to say, would you rather him face Braun or would you rather him face Rey Mysterio?
Neither.
Or Dominic Mysterio?
Absolutely not. I'd like him to fight the luchador that attacked him, though.
Oh,
Grande Americano.
What? Yeah, Grande Americano.
Yeah, Grande Americano.
Dude, crazy that it like everyone thinks it's Chad Gable. I really don't understand why people are throwing these accusations at Chad's way.
Where's El Generico?
Facts. He's dead.
Yo, imagine.
No, he's not dead. He's just in Mexico at the orphanages. Remember?
He's just
helping.
yeah.
He's in a farm upstate.
Wow.
Definitely upstate.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Canada, upstate.
there's a mysterious luchador running around on Raw. It's not Chad Gable, so anyone who says it's Chad Gable can shut up and leave, because it's not. Because we literally saw Grande Americano get shunned away out of the backstage area while Gable was being interviewed. So it's very clear that it was not Chad Gable. I don't care that they do very similar moves. Gable's moveset's fucking awesome. I don't blame people for wanting to copy his moves.
I think I have a theory. I have a theory as to who this masked luchador could be.
I don't like a Austin.
No, not like that fucking bum. Not like him. I have a theory as to
His tag team
who.
partner's worst.
I have a theory as to who Grande Americano could be. I believe it could be Charles Betts. That's
Nope.
Chat. No.
Nope.
None of you get the no.
Nope.
I tried
You
being
didn't
funny.
even try, son.
What if it's Otis? What if it's a Creed
Imagine.
brother? What if it's a Creed? No, it's not. We know it's Chad. It's Chad.
Oh man,
I don't know.
Wow.
I hate that they're doing the whole.
the Creed brothers.
No. He said it was. He said we know it's Chad, and I said who?
Oh yes,
Oh.
right. Of course. I hate that they're
I don't
doing the
know who it is.
whole. Who's behind the mask? Yeah, no shit. We know who's behind the mask. Like, let's not do this again. Right. But
That's the joke, though.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
You didn't hear Michael Cole go, Corey. Be for real.
Oh yeah,
Like, he might have-
Corey was back
might
on
have
Raw
actually-
this week.
He actually
Yeah.
might have lip smacked.
Might
Like I
have.
heard it.
Corey was back on Raw this week. Pat McAfee doesn't want to do international dates, So
Pat
Corey
McAfee
gets.
is a lazy. It's like, nah, he has fucking his own.
He's
thing
got
to
his
do.
own
I don't
thing
like
to do.
Pat
ESPN
right now.
kinda,
Not a
yeah.
fan.
I heard that you sold on him. I will admit that this was not the version of Pat McAfee that needed to come back. I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on.
I respect your concession. Not that it was necessary, but yeah, it's been weird. He's been extra goofy, and it's come at the detriment of some stories that don't need goofiness added to them.
It's
Jay and Gunther in particular.
strange how he's commentating these
I
days.
think he's just
they like washed him.
maybe he's just comfortable and he's just like having more fun with it. I don't really know. You know?
He's like scrubbed of anything that was cool of him.
Yeah.
He's so company now.
He is a little bit of a shill, but it's fine. You know?
R.I.P. Man. He's just there to boost that relationship with ESPN.
That's true. Yeah, man. I don't know. It's a lot of interesting things happening right now. Corey is just the man that's holding together the NXT commentary team right now with Booker and Vic.
Chill. Booker and Vic are doing just fine.
Well, yeah, but you know how dysfunctional they are. They just got Corey there to kind of hold it together.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Corey
but
could leave.
I think being a dysfunctional commentary team is like
That's not nice.
the vibe.
Yeah, no, it is the vibe, especially
No.
for NXT. You seen that parking lot?
Yeah.
Just don't even go there.
No.
Don't go to the parking lot.
Just don't go to the parking lot.
Take the stairs.
No.
Take the sidewalk.
Any other go through the front entrance of the building maybe.
Facts.
Yeah.
Take a Uber.
Avoid maybe don't do that. Might
Maybe
end up
take
in the
an
parking
Uber
lot.
to like the McDonald's that's a block away and then walk the rest, you know?
Or your
Yeah,
fast food choice of preference.
That could
Whatever
be
you
it.
feeling. Yeah.
All right.
Wendy's?
So this other promo.
What other promo?
This little.
The spat.
So in the States, it hasn't happened yet.
Wait, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
The Seth and Roman.
That
and-
has happened.
Oh, no, we have other things to talk about real quick.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about the first Seth promo where Seth came out and said nothing, where he was like, "Hi,
Oh. Sing my song. Yeah, that was weird.
A little.
It was very weird. He literally came out and was just like, "Well, I heard Roman and Punk are on SmackDown. Guess I'll be there too." That's literally all he said. He
Guess I'll
literally
do something.
he said, "Guess I'll go too," and then left. That was the biggest like value like ad I've ever seen. Like I said it about Cody as well. Like there's substance appearances and there's value appearances. By value appearances, it's you paid a lot of money to be at a show, so we're gonna get all the big guys on the show to make sure you get your money's worth for the ticket, barring any amount of substance they actually add to the product. That was what Seth and Cody did this week, in my opinion, on Raw. They were not there to add any substance. Cody had already added all the substance he could to it when he did the promos to a camera, and Seth didn't have the substance to add yet until he was in the same ring with Roman and Punk today. So
In an hour.
value adds.
So, except he didn't say much either in this promo that's going to happen in an hour.
That is true. So we can talk about it because it's going to go up by the time SmackDown is wrapped up at this point. So if anything, you're going to get like the super fresh reaction to it. SmackDown technically was on at 3 p.m. today on the East Coast in the U.S. However, it's not airing on TV in the States until 8 p.m. because USA. I don't know.
yeah, you guys don't have it on Netflix yet. Right.
It's fine.
Forgot.
It's fine. The U.S. has been chilling for 40 years. Like, we can
Have your fun. We still have we have ways.
we can chill out. For
We have
3 weeks. We
VPNs.
can, as long as we don't get a virus, we're fine.
We have
Yeah.
VPNs as well. If you use a VPN and watch Netflix, you can watch it there. So
If you use NordVPN,
that is my way.
promo. We're not sponsored by NordVPN.
Whoa.
yeah, I ain't plugging no
whoa.
company till they sponsor me.
Yeah, exactly.
No, give me money.
No.
Hint.
Hey, NordVPN.
Facts. Wink, wink. But yeah. So very interesting there. So Roman comes out. Crowd's going nuts. He said.
Admittedly, I skipped his entrance.
He said, "Your tribal chief loves you, Bologna." Thank you. I'm glad you popped. That was the funniest shit when he said that. He said, "Your tribal chief loves you, Bologna."
Someone also made a note that this was the first time he's said "acknowledge me" since Mania 40, which I don't know if
Correct.
Is
He
true.
said,
Okay.
"Acknowledge your tribal chief."
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
which I didn't like.
yeah,
But
I wanted to acknowledge me.
yeah, I
but
was
that's
waiting. I was hoping
yeah,
you would
maybe acknowledge
me,
your tribal chief is the face version. Acknowledge me as the heel version.
And because it's YTC, your tribal chief.
That's
No,
lame.
that's
That's
And they're
so
not
dumb.
being
I don't
and
like
they're
that.
not being slick, but they keep chanting OTC because they're like, fuck that.
I
Because they're
don't
like,
get-
that's dumb.
Yeah, but even then, like, I don't get why they're back to doing the whole OTC thing or YTC when he's just the tribal chief again. Like he did a whole
Merch.
thing. There was.
They need
The
more merch.
original
I know,
tribal
they need
chief is kinda
money.
hard.
They need more merch. They need more branding.
The original was hard.
Yeah.
That's why the OTC hit, because there have been more than one tribal chief at this point. Plus,
I guess.
we need to keep calling him the original tribal chief and the tribal chief generally, so he can have the feud for The Rock to be the final chief or the high chief.
I forgot about that bald motherfucker.
When
Even
the
though
fuck
we
does
were
that
just
happen?
talking about
This is the
him.
problem. This is the problem. He sets up so many fucking stories. He didn't set this up. I'm
No.
not fair.
He did.
No, he didn't.
He did and he didn't.
He said he wanted to sit at the head of the table last year.
Okay.
Yeah, but
that's true.
you know what
That's
the
true.
pro-
That was the
I
problem.
watched the
The
product.
problem is
That's
that Dwayne is such a subtle motherfucker. And then he'll just say these things like, I am the high chief. It's like, hold on. You know, the way he talks to Roman, you're like, okay, we're getting the match. When are we getting it? And then like 10 years go by and we're like old and
And then the
wrinkly, and we're like,
crosshairs
where the
move.
fuck? Yeah, because Dwayne's like, oh, I'm bored. I got to do something else now.
That's what I'm saying,
What is
but
that
also
whole thing,
he's-
that Mania backstage thing? You know where that meme came from? Where the Rock's like in that silk shirt and he's like, and then I told Triple H, Dwayne Johnson needs to
Oh
be
yeah,
the
it's
main
from the
event."
documentary.
Yeah, from the documentary. It's basically like every 10 weeks, Dwayne's like, and then I told Triple H, I need to feud with this person now. And then I told Triple H, The Rock
Never mind.
smelled what he was cooking.
And then I told Triple H, never mind.
And then I texted Triple H, I lied.
And then I said Brian Gewirtz
Ugh.
could write better TV.
Yeah.
Oh god. But like that's what I'm saying. He set up stories with Cody and Roman and all these people. Seth a little bit, mostly Cody and Roman, and then he just didn't follow up on it, and he hasn't followed up on it. Like Cody, he set up like I'm coming for your title, and then he comes back and he's like, psych, I want your soul. And then like Roman, he sets up the original Mania match, and then obviously we forced the Cody change, and I guess allegedly we forced the Cody move, and it's our fault, we suck. Yeah, but like finish one of these stories before you start 5 more, Dwayne, please. God damn.
So after Roman kind of yaps about nothing and then says, well, I'm here for like 20 minutes, so.
No, he goes, I'm out here for 15, 20 minutes, which is crazy because it's literally, we are literally getting, like, you know how I said with John Cena, it's taking everything and turning it on its head? That's Roman now as a face. Like, Roman before, he's like, I fulfilled my contractual obligations. I'm
leave.
out of here. I'm out. Now he's like, fuck it. I'm here for 15, 20 minutes. Anyone want to come out here? Anybody? And then he just waits, and then Seth comes out, and Seth's like, you don't know what you're doing, man. Like, Punk's detrimental to this business, blah, blah, blah. And then Punk comes out, and Punk says a very interesting note that is going to be a big thread, I think, in this story moving forward. And that is that Roman and Seth have not been able to beat CM Punk without outside help.
AKA each other.
Yes.
I'm assuming the Roman one Seth had something to do with,
I think so.
which was something that I don't remember.
Maybe back in
I
like
can't
the
remember
Shield
everything.
days. It had to
It was
have been.
This would've been
probably in the Shield days.
13.
Had to have been back in the
He had
Shield
one
days.
match with the Shield where I remember in particular when I was doing some deep diving, they had one match where it was a 3-on-1 handicap, and it was
the
Punk
handicap.
versus all the
Everyone
Shield, and
remembers
Punk
the Shield.
won.
It was TLC 20 something.
Well, not
13.
everyone,
That's-
Yusuf, because I forgot.
That's the day him and AJ went first and second, so then they could fly on
Yeah.
a jet to go to a wedding
and
that
he's
they were very
frozen
late
now.
for.
Oh man,
Oh,
we
no.
did so well.
I know.
We did so well.
You're doing so well.
Well,
Well, anyway, yeah.
So, yeah.
That I'm fairly certain because I don't remember a time where Roman and Punk have gone 1-on-1.
right. I don't know
Yeah.
off the top of my head. Let me check on that. But I don't know if they have. Oh, 2014, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns, 2014. I don't know how
2014. That would have been right before you left.
it looks like an old school Raw.
That would have been right before you left.
Yo.
Then.
Yeah, it looks like an old school Raw of some sort.
So why-
Probably one of the
Um,
Raw specials. They always have those in January.
Yeah.
And
And then I don't really know.
The Wi-Fi.
There was also one on January 6th, 2014. Looks
Yeah.
like that was that.
Yeah, like
But-
weeks before.
But apparently, like Roman and Seth haven't been able to beat CM Punk without any outside interference, potentially from each other. I forget off the top of my head if that's what was said or what's been clear, if that is the history. But very interesting stuff.
That's kind of
And then at
crazy.
that point, they start to swing at each other, and then eventually, like, Punk points at the Mania sign, and then they fight some more, and then Roman points at the Mania sign, and then they fight some more, and then the Seinfeld credit comes up, and that's the end of
I
SmackDown
kind of
tonight.
hated that. Like, I caught that as I was making dinner, and you see Punk stand up on the announce table. I thought he was going to grab a microphone and just torch him. I really
I thought he
we're
was going to
getting
grab a
another.
mic and just say, "I'm done with you goons, you and me at Mania." That's
that
it.
too. Well, yeah, all that happened was he looked at them when I'm the best in the world, and then pointed at the Mania sign.
And then the camera was like,
and
and the camera guy was like, "Punk, point at the sign, point at the sign."
And there's the triple threat.
Yeah.
Mm.
Not officially confirmed by anybody.
I know, but
They all said it. They all said
Yeah.
it, and Roman and Punk pointed, and I don't think Seth would turn down a match with two of his worst enemies.
no. Here are my takeaways from this. Promo was exactly what it needed to be. Scrappy, right?
Yeah.
Right. Scrappy. It had all the makings of this is gonna be a fun triple threat come Mania. Punk calling Seth Rollins Grimace was hilarious.
Oh, yeah. He's
And
always
Big
called
Chief
him
and
Grimace, too. So it was so
Grimace,
funny. It was so funny for him to just casually be like, "Hi, Chief," or whatever he said. Hi,
Big Chief and
Grimace.
Grimace.
Yeah. Grimace.
It also didn't help that Seth was wearing purple,
Right.
so he kind of looked like Grimace. Anyway, but for everything this promo did, it sets up A, it sets up the triple threat. B, it sets up
Yep.
that these guys are going to kill each other for the next few weeks, which is going to be fun because we
Indeed.
kind of need them on TV because we need ratings. Ratings are important.
Very
Right.
important.
Right. The third thing, and this is the important thing to talk about, is that it was brought up once again, the favor.
Yep.
And my thought process is, okay, maybe we get it. Here's the thing that gets me, is Punk goes, "You wouldn't be standing here if I didn't save you and your family's asses at War Games. Speaking of War Games, I'm owed a favor from that night." And looks at Paul.
Yep.
I don't know if you caught Paul's response, but he looks at Punk like eyes wide and goes, "Now?" And I'm like, what the fuck is it?
Yeah.
I'm like, what is it if he means now? What is it? What is the favor? Tell me.
Nothing.
Well, then he also said, "Thanks, Paul, for bringing him out here for me."
Yeah.
And then Roman turns around like, "Wait, what?" Like
There was
so,
definitely a wink.
there was
yeah,
definitely
there
a
was
wink.
something. And also, Paul was wearing a dark suit. If anyone was taking notes there,
Dark suit Paul.
dark suit Paul. I think he had the red handkerchief,
That's a nice
red
That-
pocket square.
Is that the mark of
Yeah.
CM Punk?
You know what I've seen? Sorry, Yusuf, you were going to finish more. Please finish your point,
No. You know what?
and then I'll get to the wild
We
take.
have been talking since War Games. What the fuck is this favor? What the fuck is this favor? And they have hinted towards it, but they've never hinted around it. They've never hinted what exactly the favor is or could be, right? Our assumption has been world title shot. Our assumption has been main event of WrestleMania. Our assumption has been both. Our assumption has been everything. But the way Paul responded to Punk today on SmackDown, when Punk mentioned the favor, and Paul just looks at him and goes, "Now?" And I'm like, what now? What's now? What do you mean now? What does that mean? I was like, do you get Cody out here now? Is that what you mean? I'm like, wait, no. What else? What the fuck is this favor?
Okay, so I have a wild take, and then but first, before I get to the wild take, I guess I should respond to what Yusuf said, because Yusuf, you got gears turning, you got me thinking. In a vacuum, without the context of everything in the real world that's been going on, and while also kind of taking some real world into it, there's one person that is not involved in this right now that could potentially be involved in this, that has been very wishy-washy about their status. And I say the real world, take it out, because what if the favor was bringing in
not
Brock?
Chunky. It's not Chunk Lesnar.
What if it was, though?
No.
What if it was?
Why would that be a favor? To what? What does that do?
To take out the other guys.
Pass.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying that'd be
I feel
insane.
like-
Anyway,
Brock
I know
Lesnar
it's a
beats
stretch.
all three members of the Shield at Mania.
all three members. Kurt Angle's wrestling again?
He's
No,
beaten
the other
Kurt
guy
at
that
Mania,
they
so he has
erased.
beaten every member of the Shield at WrestleMania.
You're right.
No.
He just didn't. Yeah,
No, I
Kurt
see,
got
see,
erased.
that's such a stretch.
it is.
Because
I mean, I was
it's-
just thinking, just for
yeah.
the hypothetical of it.
I'm gonna be honest. This whole thing is bullshit.
So here's a wild take, real quick, before we get into why it's not bullshit. I'm just kidding. I'm not just gonna oppose everything Emil says because it is kind of bullshit. But all right. The wild take that's been going around on the internet is, what if Paul is not going to align with Punk or Roman, and he turns on both and aligns with Seth?
Why? For
Why? Yeah, no.
I don't know why, but what if they have an agreement? And don't come at me like I'm the one with the take. I'm just presenting it to the people, to the
what?
masses.
I just don't see the reason. I'm cool.
Yeah,
Paul's tired of the two of them getting, I don't know, worried
No.
about what they're gonna
No.
do. I don't know.
no. Because I think the thing is, Paul would have no reason to side with Seth. Because he knows if he does, he has now got a target on his back by Punk and Roman. Right? Happened when he went back to Brock after the whole Punk thing. He had a target on his back that was, Punk's target, right? Happened, I mean, the Brock and fucking Roman feuds when Paul became the wise man. He had a target on his back, and that was Brock's target. It's just going to be the same thing. I don't think Paul wants to do that again. Because Paul's very much an opportunist, right? He helps make sure he finds opportunities for his clients or whoever, whatever the fuck, right? And Seth kind of doesn't really, well, in a way, Seth does kind of align with that, but Seth's whole character is, I'm one of the best workers in the company, and I will bitch and moan my way to get what I want. Whereas Punk's like, I'm just gonna find whatever fucking way I can. And if that's the favor, that's the favor. But
So the reason this is bullshit is because there's nothing here.
yeah,
There's nothing here. We're reaching, right? Because we really want to do this triple threat because we don't want to just do a singles match for why. Because they don't have anything for Punk for why. Because we know why. Or we know why I think why. So they're going to put themselves in a triple threat that really should have a third member that isn't CM Punk in here, but we can't do that because he doesn't exist.
Kurt Angle retired.
Just
Get over it. No, I'm just
call
kidding.
it like it is. And
That's
it
not-
all
that's-
stems from Dwayne.
Dwanye.
Dwanye.
In my opinion, it's not because they want to run the Shield triple threat. In my opinion, it's just because they don't know what the fuck to do. So they're just saying, we have these three mega star guys. Fuck it. Just
Because
throw them in a
winning
match.
does nothing for these gentlemen. And
I
Roman
don't know if
kind of has
that's
to
the
win
case.
if Roman's going to go to The Rock. Roman kind of has to win if we're going to get a trilogy.
It's not
So
happening. It's not
it
happening.
is what it is. Punk and Seth have kind of just been feuding on the side. Roman is now just here.
That is incorrect. Have you been watching the product, sir?
Occasionally.
Punk and Seth's blow-off was the cage match, in my opinion. The feud right now is Roman and Seth. The main feud is Roman and Seth pulled Punk in because of his hatred, and Roman is like, well, you're in my business, and hey, you used to be with my wise man, and you're a little too close for comfort right now.
I
Paul-
like that as a storyline, the little too close for comfort part.
Punk is the guy that Paul told Roman not to worry about. That's what I'm getting from that. That's what I'm getting from that. That is absolutely
Has
what
it-
I'm getting from that.
So we all saw the IGN meme video that Roman did.
No, I didn't. I don't
I
think
put
I
it
did.
in the chat.
You did?
Yeah.
What video? Tell
It
me
was-
about it. Explain it.
It was Roman Reigns reacting to memes, and
Oh, I
the
didn't
last
see this.
one is fantastic. That's what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
So, and it's kind of in that same vein and in that same
Sorry, I missed it.
level of humor. But to me, this is useless. So I'm cool off of all this bullshit.
The
And
only
this starts with a different Rumble winner.
the only utility. Oh my god.
I had to slip that in there.
I know. The only reason this is happening, in my opinion, is to A, give CM Punk a main event, and B, have him win.
Crazy that he's gonna win a non-title main event.
I know. Imagine
he's
if
gonna
he
win.
didn't get injured last year, and we would have got Punk versus Seth for the world title in the main event of night one, and Punk would have
Yeah.
won.
We could have had good
would've won.
things, but nobody wanted good things. Everybody wanted to play around.
Here's
and now
the
here we are.
problem. The problem isn't Jay winning the Rumble. The problem is, why the fuck didn't they take the title off of Gunther?
Because he was going to be a monster. You can't have that man do all that and then not be a
What
monster.
was he doing in November, December?
I don't know.
He was not being a monster. They
He
should have
was
took it
finding
off.
himself. I kind of liked that. That was fun.
But you don't find yourself with the title. You find yourself on the journey to the
No,
title.
you find yourself
Damian
because
Priest
the
found
title
himself with
takes
the
a
title.
toll.
That's not what I mean.
That's
like,
what Cody's doing right now. What are we talking about?
Cody literally beat the guy that held the title for 4 years. Cody did not find himself.
No, but he was finding
Cody
himself
had
with all of
found
it. He's
himself.
finding himself with all
Cody
his friends
found
turning on
himself.
him. All the people who was holding him up at Mania 40 are kicking him in the
that's
dick.
Epilogue. That's the epilogue.
That's not the epilogue. That's
That
the
is the
next
epilogue.
book.
That's
It's
the
a series.
Finished the story.
Yeah, that's not an epilogue. The fact that he is that's the next part.
That's a That's
That's
a
the
whole
next-
next book.
that's
It's
another
book 2.
Yeah.
It's the Sea of Monsters.
Well, yeah, but that's
Yes.
not him finding himself. That's him realizing, fuck, everyone I love hates me.
No, that's still finding yourself. I
Okay.
truly
I
no,
cooked with
seriously.
that Percy Jackson reference, and y'all just
Yeah,
slid
no,
right over it.
I appreciated it. You got to remember the whole just because someone's got the title doesn't necessarily mean that they've got it all, their characters figured out, right? Like let's look at Damian Priest's world title run last year.
That's a different
Damian
character
Priest-
thing, in my opinion.
No, not. It's still
No,
it's character development. No, but still the idea.
Gunther was kayfabe. Damien was legit, like IRL, like trying to find himself as a main event player, in my opinion.
Sure, yeah, but still, it's development as a human. Because remember, wrestling is still people.
Fake.
They're still too.
It is?
Damn.
It's real to me, damn it.
Hold on. I was on Netflix.
I was on
Anyway,
Netflix.
but like Damian Priest, the person is finding himself after he became champ. Damian Priest, the character, we are also watching in real time. Discover himself, find himself. Oh, shut the fuck up.
No,
Anyway.
not you. Damien, the character,
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now, is
yeah,
just
I
really
know,
boring
I know,
right
I
now.
know. Go, God.
Oh, bro.
And I
lack
love
of
Damien.
pop.
Take out
The
Take
lack
out those
of
vocals
pop
on that song.
sucked,
I know.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah,
Sorry. We cut
even
him off all
Cody,
the time.
Even Cody, right now. Cody's champ. Yes, he beat the guy that held it for 4 years, yada, yada, yada. Cody is currently in the situation of everyone that has helped him is against him, and now he's trying to find himself after the fact. Right? Kevin Owens betrayed him. What did he do? He had to find it in himself to murder Kevin Owens. Now John has betrayed him. What does he do now? Well, he's got to find a way to hopefully murder John Cena. He's not going to do that. But he's got to find a way, right? That's just where we're at. This whole Gunther thing, if Jay was the plan, like, last year, I don't know what the hell they were thinking.
We don't have to
here we are.
rehash this argument.
No, we
No,
don't.
the point was
We've
Gunther
gone
should have
over
dropped
this
the
way
title,
too
in
many
my
times.
opinion. The top stars right now.
We know.
No,
We
just
did-
no. I'm gonna say it anyway because that was my point. The point was, who are the top stars? Everyone in the triple threat. The title, that match would have way more stakes if there was a title involved.
But we did this last week. We said we didn't want to see these two without a belt.
Also then Punk. Well, yeah, but that's not what I'm saying.
Him tripping over
You're
himself
taking an
is-
argument. No. You're
We
taking an
don't-
argument within the context of today to justify a hypothetical context that I'm bringing up. It's different.
Apologies.
It's different. It's okay. If right now with everything else that's going on in the current climate and the stories we're seeing, no, those guys shouldn't have a title. But the thing was, Punk spent all throughout the autumn and all throughout the summer going, I want to face you, Gunther. And then Drew came out and Punk said, fuck, every single time. The point was, Drew kept getting in Punk's way. Then what did he do when he beat Drew? All right, Gunther, I'm coming after you. Then what? Seth got in his way. Then he beat Seth. Then what? Then they had
Rock.
Gunther face Jey Uso and
The Rock.
for no reason.
That's what happened because now he just talks about his bald fraudness.
Right. Also, why did he talk about The Rock? I get that he's mad about it, but he has nothing to do with that.
He was trying to start an internet movement to see if he could get he was trying to see if he could get his dumb ass in that match.
He
That's
was
what
going
trying
into
to
business
do.
for himself.
He was trying to get his ass in that match. That's what he was trying to do. He was like,
There's still-
let's
listen, dog.
see if the internet says something about us.
Listen,
And you know what
dog.
the internet did? You know what the internet did? I'm proud of the internet. You know what we did? Nothing.
No, you know what
Not a thing.
No, you know what the internet did? They speculated that that's the favor. That's what they did.
And then everybody went, but that doesn't make sense.
They could still make it make sense somehow, some way.
Paul has no stroke.
Paul is Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's
Paul
a
has
legend.
no stroke.
Paul Heyman's a Hall of Famer. He's a
He's
legend
not
in this
a
business.
GM. He's not an official. He is a wise man.
But
he's not considered
but
a
what is he?
manager. He's not a hype man. He's not an agent. He's not nothing. He is just a wise man.
But he's a legendary business person. Yeah, he can talk, so he can use his words to persuade.
Grown.
Thank you very much. Now what do we want to talk about?
So much grown.
Oh, we have a match that's confirmed for WrestleMania. Do you care if I spoil SmackDown a little bit for you, Emil? It's pretty obvious. So
That's
Randy
exactly
Orton
what you
opened
didn't
SmackDown
want.
tonight, and KO came out, and it was a really interesting promo, actually. KO came out and said, not that he wanted to hurt Randy, because remember, KO was the guy that took out Randy with that package pile driver, but he said that KO wanted to, KO was saving Randy from himself, the demons, the voices in his head, and wants to go after the tag titles with Randy again at WrestleMania. And Randy said, you dropping me on my head actually knocked my head into the right place, and now I hear voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand. Literally quoted the song. And now we are getting Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania.
All right, so I haven't done this for like 2 months. So we gotta circle back on this one. So let's talk about it. You like that little Zoom conversation? Let's circle back.
Circle back.
Good
So-
corporate work, yes.
Randy
Let's put a
Orton.
pin in that real quick.
We put a pin in it back when this happened, and now we're
Yeah.
here to circle back.
Right.
This match doesn't need to happen right now. We've been here already, right? At Elimination Chamber, both men should have died. Both men should have went away. Sami Zayn right now is taking a gorgeous vacation. He's in Cancun with the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm okay with it happening only because Randy deserves a match at WrestleMania, and this is the best match for him.
Ah,
Right now, yeah.
That's just how it is, dog.
yeah.
Yusuf?
Kind of how it is. No, genuinely, it.
That's a negative.
And he's
You're
frozen.
you're helpless. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, yeah. What else to do with Randy, right? Because the people want Randy. The people do be wanting the Viper at Mania. Kevin Owens is kind of the only realistic feud going forward. So might as well.
they
just
want
do
the
it
long,
with the-
slithery Viper
Yes.
on the floor.
on the ramp again.
Pause.
Good old
The long Viper.
Mania. What was that? I can't
Good
remember
old
what year
snake.
it was 35. Well. Anyway,
So, long story less long, this is pointless to me again because Randy winning really does nothing except for kind of just waiting for him to be able to go for Cody.
Go for
KO
Cena.
winning. Where's Cena?
We're getting Orton Cena.
And then KO winning also does even less because KO ain't going for Cena.
We're getting Orton versus Cena at Backlash St. Louis. Calling it now.
Wow, that's such a lukewarm take. I don't even want to like. even
How is that
acknowledge
lukewarm?
it.
That's literally Randy Orton's hometown.
That's why it's lukewarm.
Well, also, it's just the most obvious possible. It's barely a take if it's just the obvious. It's a given at that point, right?
I don't know. You're quiet, but okay.
It's
Damn.
a given. I'm away from my mic. I'm so sorry. Would you like me to reiterate that it's just an obvious given? It's going to be in St. Louis, so we're getting Orton and Cena. So therefore, it's not really a lukewarm take, nor does it take to begin with. Thank you. You're welcome.
He's right. It's
Yeah.
not a take.
It's not a take if it's the obvious. Because it
I
just
feel
is.
very heard right now. Now what?
I'm sure you do.
Uh,
I don't know. Fucking. Where's Sammy?
I'm not
Taking his
watching
sweet
the other
time.
guys.
2 debuts are on the way on SmackDown, guys.
Is Phoenix going to be
Allegedly.
on?
So who's?
SmackDown?
Oh yeah, is that? Yeah, is that?
So
what's,
we've
so they're
had
gonna split
two.
'em?
We've had two promos. One spooky, one lucha. The lucha
Both
is none other. Yeah, both a little spooky. The lucha one is none other than Rey Fenix, and yes, they are going to be splitting Rey and Penta, which I'm about it because
Crazy work.
It's
I kinda
not
like
crazy in my opinion.
No, I kinda like
Penta. No, I love it. I think Penta is the first luchador they're actually doing right so far, since Rey Mysterio, and even with Rey, it took a while for them to fully get on board.
Dragon Lee is still employed in this company.
Dragon Lee's still fucking
I
fire,
just
dude.
forgot that. No, and I love
And he
Dragon
doesn't
Lee.
do anything.
I know
That's
you know.
the
I know you love
problem.
Dragon Lee. He's so good.
Fuck!
He's
Is
just
he the one who did the Solita del Sol off the thing?
No, wasn't that
wasn't that Kalisto?
Callisto?
Or was but who?
You're thinking
No,
of
that was
someone
his
else.
man's though. It wasn't Kalisto. It was his man's who
Lindsay
did that.
Dorado,
No.
Oh,
Wait,
and
no,
Metalik?
Sin Cara was his
Sin
man's,
Cara,
and then
yes.
Kalisto.
Sin
You're
Cara
right,
with the
never
Lucha Dragons. That's right.
Yeah.
No, but no, Dragon Lee's phenomenal. He's been around for a while. He's just stuck with Hat Guy, No Hat Guy, and Rey Mysterio.
Who? Not
Hat
Rey.
Guy and No Hat Guy. That's what they call. So somebody called LWO as like hat guy, no hat guy, Dragon Lee, and like they had nicknames for each of them. But hat guy was Joaquin Wilde. No hat guy was Cruz del Toro. Because they're
Isn't
just
one
like
of them hurt?
Yes, I think Joaquin is hurt.
It's a great name.
Oh no.
One of them is hurt.
Oh no, Joaquin Wilde is hurt. Oh, whatever
Actually,
shall
might be
we
Cruz.
do?
I don't know. One of those guys
The
is
whole
hurt.
show will not go on.
darn. Oh no.
Which is
whatever.
it's actually kind of hilarious because like LWO and Legado del Fantasma just had like leader swaps basically, because like Santos was with Joaquin and Cruz, and then he turned on them
Right,
when
didn't
they
he,
joined
like,
up with Ray.
Dip.
And
yeah.
then and now he has Angel and Berto, which honestly are better in my opinion. I like Angel and Berto much better. Los Garza, fire. Oh, we have new
all of
WWE
them.
Tag Team Champions, y'all.
That was a week ago.
Yeah,
That took
I
way too
forgot
long.
that too.
I don't think it took way too long. I just
think
think
it took
they,
Way too long.
it took a heel turn, and that's totally fine. The Street Prof, well, not really a heel turn, a tweener turn.
I mean, shouldn't that tweener turn have happened like 3 years ago?
No, maybe.
Nah.
The Street Profits are the new WWE Tag Team Champions. They won them off DIY. That was the show in Barcelona, I believe. That was fire.
Right.
Yup.
Big fan. Good for them. Well deserved. Stop talking about them breaking up because they're fired together as well. And that
So-
just is gonna mean Montez is gonna. Everyone's gonna tank Angelo Dawkins' career, even though he's fucking fantastic.
So you can put the greatest tag teams on earth together. You can make them all fight each other. You can involve titles, and I could not give two shits about any of this.
That's crazy. I'm enjoying it very much.
Zero love for this. Zero hate for this. I don't hate it. I'm the beyond indifferent. Like, this was the main event, and I was watching with a friend, and me and my friend were both just like, we could not.
I would say it's.
We then watched it.
The tag. Of course. I would say the tag team division in particular is one where you have to really. Not that you don't love and appreciate the wrestling, but I always take you for more of a story guy. And it's just
Yeah,
not story. It's just not story heavy. And I'm a story heavy guy as well. But it's not super substantive. So I'm with you.
Substantial?
Both. I think both are words.
Trash, honestly. Terrible.
Substantive. Having a firm basis in reality and therefore important, meaningful, or
No,
considerable.
They're both words.
Not both of you Googling it.
Nah, but
no, let's talk about the cool thing that happened on this SmackDown. Complete side mission for the entire show, really, honestly. So, Gunther comes out and cuts.
oh yeah.
The greatest Barcelona promo.
This
of
was
the
last
night.
week's SmackDown, by the way, not the one that's happening today, tomorrow, whatever.
That's
or yesterday,
happening right now
whatever.
in
Yeah.
the US.
Technically.
And does the a la Madrid in
In
Yo,
Barcelona.
that was hilarious.
Oh.
Like
Like,
laughing,
the
being like,
biggest
"Hala
asshole
Madrid."
ever. And I loved it. I loved
He
every
is
second
doing
of it.
phenomenal heel work.
And you know who came
Oh, yeah.
out?
A Kid.
Oh, Axiom?
No, A Kid. Yeah, Axiom.
Shut up.
He's like, but Spain has A Kid, and only they understood and they cheered, and everyone at home is like, why are they cheering? But
Honestly, though,
for those that
love
don't know, Axiom used to be known as A Kid. There you go.
And for some
Yeah.
reason, I'm not even like, I don't watch NXT like that. So the fact that I was kind of, I popped hard. I marked a little bit. I was like, that's really cool. I was like, good for him.
Emil's a MILF.
I marked.
Man, I love Fraxium.
I marked. I was like, this is cool.
Man, I love Fraxium.
I was just like super smiley about it. I was like, that's cool.
Hell yeah, man.
And he got to and here's the part that Tyler hates, which I kind of loved. Because this was a side mission, we could just consider none of this canon. This didn't happen in reality, because he kicked out of Gunther's something or other, and
he kicked out of the power bomb. That should have been for Jay, man.
and that doesn't happen. Apparently, I gotta go.
Rarely.
Check,
I
gotta
it's
check
definitely
my memory
happened.
on that.
It definitely happened recently,
But it's
I
not
feel like
something
with
that happens
the story,
normally.
Correct.
And right now, if he's gonna be a killer, you kind of can't have somebody kick out of his finisher. But honestly, this was just meant to be a side mission.
And what they have done instead is build the sleeper as Gunther's like main attack. Whenever Jay is like in the ring and on Raw, Gunther sneaks up behind him and just like grabs him into the sleeper. So if that's what they're gonna do, if the sleeper's gonna be the move, that's fine. I get it.
Was
It
the
hasn't built
sleeper
the powerbomb.
was that intentional? Because everybody calls Gunther sleepy.
No. No one calls him sleepy.
That is a take that's going around the internet. Check out TikTok. We've seen some of the comments have said
Dude,
that.
the only takes I'm seeing
'Cause
around the
we've
internet,
responded to
around
them saying
Twitter,
you're
is
wrong.
everyone calling Jey Uso a dog shit wrestler.
Yeah, everyone's agreeing with you about Jay being a dog shit wrestler.
Jay sucks.
I feel
It's
so
crazy.
vindicated.
That's good. I'm happy for you.
I feel so vindicated. I don't care. I know he's gonna win. It is what it is. But I like that the internet kind of agrees that Jey Uso is muy gabiso.
I mean, they're also trashing him because of that flip, but like also like botches happen. It's fine.
Yeah.
One thing that Jay doesn't do that often is botch. He does the same few moves, but he does them well, and he rarely botches.
He's incredibly consistent in the ring. He's just not like a wrestler's wrestler.
It's hard to be
moves of
inconsistent.
doom.
It's hard to
Yeah.
be inconsistent
The
when you
punch,
have the same few moves.
The super
exactly.
kick, the run off the spear, the run off the rope spear.
And 4 if you count a splash, but
Oh, and a splash.
that's about
And
it.
Does he have a 5th move? Does he have 5 moves of doom?
Also, he has like the
Oh, the
worst.
Samoan drop.
Yeet? Oh yeah,
He also does have the worst spear out of everyone that does a spear right now. Easily. Roman and Braun are like neck and neck for me. I'm honestly,
I think Braun.
I lean Braun.
Braun's got a
Yeah,
better spear.
I like
Bronze
how
is better, but
I like how
Roman's.
stiff Bronze is. I like how stiff Bronze is when he does it.
Roman's reminds me of Goldberg's in that it has that intensity to it, like when he launches himself. But Braun is just fucking scary.
Combine Roman intensity with Braun's actual spear, and you have Goldberg.
I could see it. I could see it. The one thing the only thing I want out of this right now at WrestleMania, this match between Gunther and Jay, is for it to be good. Like, it's a given at this point that Jay's gonna win. It's a given at this point that Gunther is dropping this title at WrestleMania, which sucks for Gunther because that's 2 big matches in a row he's lost.
Okay,
which is why there is a growing contingent of people that think Gunther could win.
This
However,
is my problem. Yeah.
Me, I'm in that.
Me
I'm
as
in that
well.
boat.
I brought this
I'm in
up
that-
like last week or the week before.
I also said, what if he wins?
We can't. You have Gunther as your powerhouse like talent in this company, and you're gonna have him go back to back on major title singles losses at WrestleMania.
Oof.
let me play devil's advocate. You're gonna have Jay lose after he won what was billed for weeks as the most stacked Royal Rumble match in history after he eliminated John Cena.
Yeah,
It's
there's a
all
problem.
for
It's a
the
bit of
story,
a-
bro.
it's a
We'll send him
double-edged
back
sword.
down to IC where he belongs.
No, like when you say that, it's obvious to me that it's just your personal biases that are getting in
That's
the way.
not personal biases. What did we say last week?
Where
I
he
sold
belongs.
because- what?
Where he belongs is obviously a personal bias.
That's not personal bias.
Yes, it is.
How?
Where he belongs, you can't assume that we all know that's where he belongs. You can't assume that.
Bro.
Don't assume.
Bro, there's just not enough there. Sorry.
I don't know, man. Listen,
Big
the fans
Jim
are.
Big Jim could be that like upper echelon mid carder.
But guess what?
Jim.
He's not yet. He will be.
I hate
He will
that
be.
name so much.
I love Big Jim,
Big
bro.
Jim's fantastic.
Big Jim is the
It's-
best thing
it's
going
just so
in the
dumb.
family right now. Low-key.
I know.
Big
I know.
Jim is fantastic.
I know.
Big
No,
Jim
no,
is
no.
trying to win
No,
the U.S.
I
Tag
think
Team title
Jimmy
by
is
himself.
doing great. Yes, I know
Oh,
he's trying to win the
yeah.
U.S. Tag Team titles. It's like how Penta's trying to win the Continental Championship.
Yes.
If anyone
Is that
caught
what he said?
Yes,
Oof.
he said Continental.
Listen, that man can do no wrong. He doesn't know. English is not his first language.
I know.
At least English is Jimmy's first language, and he still called it the wrong title.
Jimmy, I think, is doing like the best work of his singles run ever in his career. However, the whole Big Jim thing makes me laugh. I don't know why.
You're
Big
supposed
Jim.
to.
Yeah.
But he recovered so well because Solo decided to almost drop the F-bomb.
Because he fucked up worse.
And Solo goes, my foot.
Why don't you do my family a foot?
Solo
Yeah.
Solo said,
And it cuts. It almost misses Jimmy Uso completely, but it gets him at just the right time where Jimmy's like,
I
Dookie,
swear,
one day.
those three.
Jimmy
those-
Uso was instigating. He said,
I swear, those 3 fucking brothers, just Jimmy, Jay, and Solo, they just fucking bull on TV. They get
They're
paid to just
stupid.
fucking
oh yeah,
fuck
to do
around
whatever
on
the
TV.
fuck
They're
they
so
want.
stupid.
Yeah.
They all are always giggling, laughing at each other, making each other pop, bro. It's so funny.
What I love is that when this is just a side tangent, but back when the Bloodline, like the original Bloodline, was a thing, right? Roman's like in the back, he's like all serious, like trying to cut a promo backstage with Paul Heyman, and like Solo's standing like menacingly behind him, and Jimmy and Jay are doing something so stupid that they are just cracking up off camera because they can't be on camera laughing, and then you realize that Solo is trying to hold it in and not break character. because all those brothers do is just dick around.
Dude,
So-
I couldn't survive in a room.
I'm
Yeah,
dead.
same. I could not.
So while we're on the subject of Bloodline real quick, I did want to touch on a little bit of the story development that went on tonight between Solo's illegitimate bloodline. Because some stuff happened. So tonight there was advertised that the match that's happened every day since Groundhog Day fucking happened again. And that is Braun versus Jacob. Except this time, Nick Aldis announced that the winner would face LA Knight, for the US title next week.
Yeah.
SmackDown's in London next week, by the way. So the winner of Braun versus Jacob gets the shot at LA Knight. And LA Knight goes over to Braun backstage before the match. He's like, hey, man, listen, I know the Bloodline, they deal in numbers, right? It's a numbers game. So I got your back tonight if they try to fuck with you. And Braun's like, all right, man, I'm the monster among monsters. I'm Braun Strowman. But, he's like, all right. He basically is like, thanks for the help, but also like, I'm gonna beat your ass after I beat Jacob tonight. And so Braun goes out there and I'm like, damn, Braun versus LA Knight is like the match I really fucking hope Jacob wins, because the match I really don't want to see is LA Knight versus Braun Strowman for the US title. Anyway, they've wrestled, they has fight, and spoiler incoming, Emil. Braun wins by DQ. Because Solo and Tama Solo calls the play and attacks Braun, him and Tama. And then later on backstage, Jacob's having a fit. He's throwing shit around. He's pissed off. And Solo's like, hey, man, we were just trying to help. And Jacob's like, next time, like, he said something like, stay out of your business. Like, you got to, like, stay out of my way or whatever. They're building tension between Solo and Jacob. Meanwhile, we now have the match out of my worst fucking nightmare next week, LA Knight versus Braun Strowman for the US title.
Pass.
So Knight wins
That's going to turn into a
DQ.
segment.
I could see also Jacob potentially being added in last minute. Nick Aldis being like, listen, it wasn't fair that he lost the opportunity because of the DQ. He gets added as a triple threat. Then you can have Jacob win by pinning Braun and not have LA Knight take the pin.
True.
And then you can take Jacob Fatu versus Solo for the US title at WrestleMania.
Jacob, I'm sorry, your cousin's an idiot. You get a U.S. title match. I don't know.
That's
Yeah.
a very face move.
A little.
That's a very face thing to happen
Yeah.
to Jacob.
But that was the point. They're trying to build Jacob as the face in this.
While still keeping him cool, which is really fun. Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
by Elimination Chamber, I was ready to buy a shirt. I was like, wow, this is new.
Because the shirts they
should've.
had sucked before, but like not sucked, but like I don't like when they just have like a front design and nothing else.
Yeah.
And even then, the front design was just the wolf,
Can we get
and there was no
Nah,
text,
the
nothing.
red,
Can we
the
get
red
the
all
wolf with-
gas, no brakes or whatever. That one.
Can we get
That's
a
sick.
Jacob? Can we get Jacob Fatu to cut a Shoes of a Champion promo?
Oh
That's
God.
essentially what he's doing.
I know. That's been stuck in my head, by the way, ever since you just kept bringing it up when you were in town.
Shoes of a champion.
Shoes of a champion.
So funny, dude. So funny.
He's
Oh,
not
Right,
that
yeah,
good anymore.
Here's
no.
This Monday on Raw, we have a quick match, just a quick little discussion here because it's painfully obvious where it's going, and I'm just going to tell WWE now, you're welcome, even though they probably already had this book before I came up with the video. Jimmy Uso and a mystery partner against A-Town Down Under this week on Raw. The internet is stupid, and let me tell you why.
You mean Jay?
Raw
Uso.
is happening in Glasgow, Scotland. So Twitter immediately was like, let's not book Jimmy Uso, Jay's twin fucking brother that Gunther mentioned by name multiple times. Let's have fucking Joe Hendry come out instead. Which, that'd be cool if it had any sort of fucking relevance to the story that already has no coherent threads throughout it. This is their chance to build a coherent story. If they do they're not going to do Joe Hendry, first off, because
No, God,
He's
no,
not
it's
going-
gonna be Joe Hendry.
they're like, oh, he's from Scotland. Yeah, as if he lives right down the street from the fucking arena they're doing. No, he lives in Florida now. He lives in the States. He's in TNA, bro. They're in Florida like every week.
That would
kinda-
also just be
I
a
kinda
side mission
wish.
for what?
It was. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. When we could have again, we're having side missions at times in this Mania build when we could be doing actual
Yeah, but I feel
substantive
like
storytelling.
All of this has been side mission.
This whole
That's what I'm
WrestleMania is
saying.
a side mission.
That's what I'm saying. It's
We're
all.
booking the SummerSlam.
This feels like a road to WrestleMania on like the old WWE games. You know what I mean?
We're booking the SummerSlam. So
And
honestly, I'm okay with it because it's lit for me.
Same. Yeah.
Mm.
Yusuf, you coming to SummerSlam or
You
not?
coming to SummerSlam? We have a squad coming this time, I think.
We have a squad? Wait, who's coming?
We may have some people.
Oh yeah, you told me already.
August,
We don't need to.
right?
We don't need to out people.
August? Is that
August,
what it
yeah,
is?
beginning of
August,
August.
like 1st.
First, second,
I'll try.
Is
MetLife
it-
Stadium.
It's gonna be lit.
I'm gonna
It's
assume
gonna be The
your
Rock.
country's gonna let me through the border first.
That is so real.
Your country let me, and then they let me
Well,
come
my
back.
country's nice about it.
Their country is actually like coherently run right now.
It's clean.
Not to get political, but hey, too
It's a
late.
clean city.
Yeah,
I don't know about-
here's the thing. I'd be down for SummerSlam. I just need to figure out whether or not I can get into the country. So
What?
Real.
But like for real though, what are we booking to right now? Like we're in 30
the
something
Raw
days.
after Mania.
I
33
don't fucking
days.
know what we're booking to anymore. We've had like landmarks of what we're booking to, and then we get there and we're like, huh, this doesn't feel like the end either. Because like we had like, oh, Survivor Series, Bloodline War Games, we're gonna end that, and then like Solo's Bloodline's still been a thing, and Roman, like they had the Solo Roman feud with the Tribal Combat at Raw Netflix. Then we said Raw Netflix was gonna be the end of it, and then it wasn't. And then The Rock came out and like continued the story and like actually like opened up the book even further by like going corporate, and then like everyone like just creating more questions than answers. And then he said he wanted Cody's soul, so we thought like Elimination Chamber could be the end of that for now. And then Cena turned heel, and then Rock, which makes Rock still kind of a prominent figure, which is like now like I don't know where the end
So
is.
to me, Elimination Chamber didn't mean shit because we did that, and it kind of feels like it's in its own vacuum, while everything else is still carrying on business as usual. Like they didn't do Elimination Chamber at all.
Kind
Trish
of.
Stratus is
What?
gone.
What?
Where's
Yeah,
Tr-
that match that was a one-off for Trish.
That was
that
a
was a
one-off
waste
for
of my
Trish.
time.
That was a one-off for Trish.
Sami
and to get
Zayn's on
Well, that was
vacation.
not
and
a-
to get
that
and
was
to
not
get
a
and
waste for the people
and to get
of
and to
Toronto,
yeah
Ontario, Canada.
correct.
The
And it was
only
and it was to get Tiffany Stratton over going into Mania.
Yeah.
She's already over. And so the only story that came out of this was the Randy Orton and KO thing, which nobody cares about because there's 70 other things that are slightly more important.
I care.
Um,
I'm excited to see Orton punt KO in the head.
I don't even. Oh, and the ladies. I guess that kind of mattered.
Yeah, I'm actually intrigued by the women's world title right now.
None
Rhea is
of
kind
the
of
men's
a
stuff mattered.
Rhea is kind of a petulant child. She looks dumb.
No. We're not doing this because we're an hour and a half into this pod. No.
We're gonna go 2 hours if we even start talking about this.
Because no, just no. So Cena can do it, and we're all happy dandy about it, and Rhea can't, and we're.
I said I didn't like it. We already had that discussion, so I don't know why we're acting like we never had it.
I
don't like
yeah,
that
but
Cena
we
did it.
didn't have it on a microphone.
That's
Now.
fine. That's fine.
You were fine with it until I pointed that out.
I think with the whole women's world title thing, I'm just gonna make this quick. Is there are better ways to have Rhea Ripley get involved instead of just being like,
Right.
and
That
then
little
of course,
backstage
there's-
brawl was fun.
Well, yeah,
True.
but we've got that. The Jade Cargill thing is still a thing, right? Even though Naomi
Heard-
admitted that she did it for The
Here's
Rock. She admitted she did it for The Rock, but Liv Morgan's still talking about it. Bianca's still talking about it. Jade is still talking about it. This is gonna bite someone in the ass come 4 weeks from now. Who knows? It's actually
Low-key,
like kind of
at this
intriguing.
point, I'm kind of like, damn, maybe Bianca does win the title and then say, haha, fuck you. Naomi and I planned it. I'm champ now.
I seriously could believe
Okay.
that.
That's kind of that's what I'm hoping
Yeah.
for at this point
That's,
because
I
it doesn't
think,
make
what
sense that
everyone's
she's
hoping
just
for at
out of the story. We've already done.
I
this,
mean,
so.
it's not that she's not out of the story though. I don't know if you've been like watching, but they've been questioning it. Like, they've said what you've been thinking. They've been addressing your concerns on TV. They've been like, you've been awfully quiet about this whole thing that happened with Jade and Naomi, like, and now you're focused on the title. And she's like, well, yeah, I won Chamber. And they're like, okay, but your best friends are fighting. And she's like, yeah, but I won Chamber.
Yeah, that's.
And I'm
so
not dismissing that take.
concerning.
I'm just letting you know
It's
that like
concerning.
that is substantive. That is that is my word today.
So I'm
Substantive.
just kind of waiting to see what happens then. They've
much.
kind of cooked, and we have 4 Raws left to kind of just sit here and wait.
It's simmering right now. They
Yeah,
got it
it's-
to a
it's on-
boil, and now we're simmering. It's a
we're
long
waiting for
game.
the pasta
I feel
to
like it
cook
hasn't
so we can
boiled
put the
yet.
sauce in the pasta.
I don't think.
Oh,
it's boiled
I thought the boiling was the reveal, and then like the simmer is like the long build until we get to the end, and then at WrestleMania we taste. We get the women's world title match. We
Never
get
make
Naomi.
that sound again.
We get Naomi Jade.
ASMR with Kickout Wrestling.
Kickout Club.
Kickout Club.
Kickout Club Kitchen.
Kitchen Club.
Yo, but cooking though?
Anyway,
Hey yo, did I just come up with something good?
we're just gonna be
No, the
potting
actual
while
physical
each of us
act of
cook.
cooking.
Yes.
Oh,
Talk
Um,
wrestling while cooking? Has that been done yet?
Cookout Club.
Probably.
Cookout Club is crazy.
I love
Lawsuit waiting to happen.
We have lost the plot.
Yes, we have. The plot being though, there's so much overarching shenanigans with the women's title feud right now on Raw that have other people involved. So I guess maybe this is the simmer point. Maybe the boil is like a few weeks. I feel like the boiling point is going to be Mania. Like something's going to happen there, but I'm loving this era of wrestling because it's just like, who the fuck knows anymore?
We're constantly in a state of why.
No, and I love that. I love it because it's all the fucking smarks are like, like all the, like everything's like divided up almost. Like the smarks are like, the content creators like, this could happen. And everyone's like, shut the fuck up. Okay, hold on, hold the horses, right? And then everyone else is like,
yeah, we are the content creators.
We are the content creators. And then there's everyone else that's just like, chaos, fuck it, cool. What's next? You're gonna tell me Piper Niven's gonna win the women's U.S. title?
Yes.
No.
She's gonna turn, or she's gonna get turned against. I was trying to not. Yeah.
He was trying to avoid saying that.
I realized
Chelsea is gonna. Slap
I could
the
see
shit out of
Zelina winning the belt, even though she lost to Piper
No.
tonight.
Zelina Vega title run.
Zelina Vega ain't winning a thing.
Zelina Vega.
I don't know.
Unfortunate, but
That is the feud that's happening right now.
What's Lyra Valkyria doing right now? Is she still feuding
Waiting
with,
for Becky to come back.
Yeah.
Or she comes back at Mania.
Could see it.
Rumor. It's been constantly rumored by like everybody on the internet that Becky Lyra is the match.
Very brief, off topic thing. I feel like Emil, you're gonna be
Use your words.
You're gonna like this. You're gonna like this. I know. I didn't know how I wanted to phrase this. No, it's about someone you like that hasn't really been on TV recently. Where is Nia Jax?
Oh no, she lost Mad Time. She's gone.
No. I'm saying like.
She's cool. I like her. Like
No.
I love her. I like actually the whole presentation still.
No,
but
I'm
she's lost a
confused
bit.
because again, we talked about Trish, how her appearance at Elimination Chamber seemed pointless, but it seemed like they were building a feud with Nia and Trish for a little bit too.
It was kind of just there. It
I
wasn't.
would have
that
taken
was
a
just
Nia
part of a
Trish feud and
one-off.
going into Mania. I'm
I'm
just
cool.
saying. But we have too much going on. We have actually like a lot of women's
that's like
stories.
inflation.
We have a lot, bruh. We have a lot of women's stories going into Mania that are actually good. Like the women's world title feud's pretty good. Charlotte and Tiff was pretty good tonight as well. Except Charlotte wouldn't shut the fuck up. I feel like that was one of those promos that was like unscripted, but like Charlotte really didn't do well with it because anytime Tiffany tried to inject substance in, Charlotte would just like try and talk over her to be like annoying because that's Charlotte Flair's character. But it just looks it was the detriment of the development. And then the Naomi Jade feud is picking up as well.
I was gonna say something, but I lost it. Fuck.
Oh, I'm sorry. We also have the women's tag feud potential as well. With we still haven't gotten any development with Alexa and the Six yet. And Liv and Raquel are champions, and Liv and Alexa were building to some stuff in Chamber and Rumble. So like we could see Liv and Raquel versus Bliss Cross Connection. You know what I mean? Bliss Cross Applesauce, whatever it is. I don't know what their team is.
That's a great name.
Yeah, it was like Bliss Cross Applesauce, I think it was. I don't know. Or Bliss Cross Connection.
Well, I think it was Bliss Cross Applesauce.
Yeah. But now they'd just be the Wyatt Six. But I digress.
Where are they?
That's a great
injured.
question.
I think one of them
One
was
of them-
waiting
so
till
they were
summer.
waiting to get clearance.
See,
And I
that's
think they
weird.
were
One of
just
them's
cleared
hurt, so
today.
like one of them is hurt, so
I
like
know,
none of them
yeah,
appear.
so
It's
none of
weird.
them wrestle? Yeah.
I think it was Howdy that was hurt, though.
Probably.
I think that's
No.
part of the problem.
So I had read today somewhere that he's been cleared to wrestle. So they're just WWE is just trying to figure out a way how to implement them right now. Like where do we put them? What do we do with them?
SmackDown after Mania.
I guess.
Maybe.
I think it's too late to inject any new people
Well,
into
we're not
Mania
putting
right
anybody
now.
new in right now.
No,
that's what I'm
way
saying.
too late.
That's what I'm saying. So we gotta wait till after, I think.
Yeah.
Unless they want to do the women's tag feud, that'd be the only reason. But
Maybe.
anyone got a
not.
best in wrestling this week?
Yes.
I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
I
We're
know
not-
what I was gonna.
we're
I
not
know what I
doing
was
that.
gonna say.
I was-
I know what I was gonna say.
Damn it! I
Charlotte
was
last
trying to
week-
make a joke, and your brain thing
No,
just
it
messed
actually
me up.
no, it actually it matches here. I can call this the best in wrestling. Charlotte flipping off the crowd
Oh, that
Again.
Was funny. That was funny.
again.
That was funny.
She said,
I love that.
"You're."
I don't know if this was planned, but I love that at first she came in trying to be a face, and then everyone booed her, and she's like,
Yeah,
"Oh, you
everyone
don't like me?
boos, she's
Fine,
like,
fuck
"Alright,
you."
fine."
Like,
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
No, this was always meant to be a heel.
I think it was,
yeah,
but
she was
I think it
always-
was also. But if it wasn't, that was still hilarious. And she was like still trying to go out there and be the face.
Love,
You don't have
love her.
omnipotent
her
God
god
mode Charlotte be a face.
I love
That
her
doesn't
god
make
mode.
sense. Yeah,
Watched the
not
promo
Charlotte.
with her and Tiffany tonight. I was kind of annoyed by it a little bit. I know it's her character, but I felt like I wanted more story development, and she was preventing the story development.
It's so much.
Not that I didn't like it as a whole. That's just a one gripe I had about it.
It's so much of just like the same constant me over and over again. Like Tiffany is like, I'm gonna beat Charlotte. I can do it. I believe in myself. It's Tiffy time. And Charlotte's like, I am literally God.
Yeah.
So overall, like with this booking, I kind of want to put a bow on this.
Yeah.
Overall, what I do like is now we're kind of back to business as usual when it comes to content creating and when it comes to these podcasts and these reviews, and we're kind of hitting a point now where we know what Triple H is doing, so now we can say things that we don't like.
True.
It's nice. What I like that we're kind of back to, like, we're out of this grace period with this booking. Like, the internet doesn't love everything. We're wishing there were other things that could happen. This is what happened in the Attitude Era. Now we can look 30 years ago with some of these lenses and be like, this wasn't good. But this happened in the moment too. The internet just didn't exist like this. You can go back and see forums of, Rock or Austin winning too much. You can see like nothing. They talk about mid-carders and not really anything being done with them. And there are these weird storylines that kind of don't make sense. There's logic that doesn't logic.
Yeah.
Just because we love 99, just because we like the year 2000 fiscally, right? Just because 2001 was a mess.
Mm-hmm.
So there's, I wouldn't say we're near 99. I kind of think that was last year, but I would say this is the year 2000. We're fiscally fantastic right now.
We're trying to find our footing, and it might not be the right direction, but we're working on it.
Shit's weird.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna go buy AEW.
That's hilarious.
Speaking of AEW,
No.
oh no,
No.
my best in wrestling actually
I
has
saw
to do with them. No, it has
I
nothing
saw
to do
their
with that. It
commercial
has nothing to do with that.
during the
My-
NCAA.
Best in Wrestling was fully a joke. I thought you guys were just going to laugh it off and move on.
I saw their commercial during March Madness, and I went, terrible show. And it was about Collision.
What we got for it, though, Yusu? Let's hear it.
Oh, so for those of you that don't know, noted Canadian speedball Mike Bailey is officially signed to AEW. Good for them, honestly.
Woohoo!
Mike deserves the world. Honestly,
Hell
Mike's
yeah.
the fucking greatest. Mike was part of a number one contenders tournament for the international title, and he has, I guess you could say, successful because Ricochet was also successful on that. So at AEW Dynasty, which is their next pay-per-view coming up in a month, I believe it's the beginning of April. Or less than a month. It will be Kenny Omega defending the international title against Ricochet and Mike Bailey. And I want to give my flowers to Mike because he's officially signed. They are officially signed to the company. I'm sorry. And first major pay-per-view match is going to be with fucking Kenny. Love that. Love that for Mike.
Are they non-binary?
Yes.
Oh, is
Yeah.
that a new development?
This has been a thing for a few years now. It's been
Oh,
a few
I
years now,
definitely
yeah.
referred to them as he, him at some
So
point.
I think
stinks.
Mike goes by both. I haven't
Oh,
clarified that the last time I saw
Interesting.
Mike, but yeah.
last time I talked to Mike Bailey, yeah, we're boys. You know?
It was an indie show. The nice thing about Mike is that Mike's always out to like talk to fans and everything.
Nice.
Right? Lovely guy. Lovely human being. But yeah, he's got a match with fucking Kenny Omega coming up, and that's gonna be fun because that should
Hope he
always
doesn't
be
take
good.
the pin
Yeah,
because we
hopefully he
know
doesn't
someone
take the
else
pin.
is that's not named Kenny Omega.
Yep.
I
Meanwhile,
don't know
Swerve
anything
is
about
probably
any of
winning the
this.
world title in Fast.
Swerve?
Swerve is probably winning the world title.
Hell yeah, I'm down. I'm
Someone's
down.
got to take
For
it off. Moxley.
what?
Some's got to defend
So
it
we
against
have to
Hangman.
end
wait,
this.
Wait,
We
what,
have to-
what if they
Hangman.
end this and Moxley leaves?
Imagine.
Yo,
You know what
SummerSlam.
happens?
SummerSlam.
You know what happens
SummerSlam.
after Dynasty? Like the week after?
Like the week after.
The week of Coachella?
Yeah.
Dun it, dun it, dun it.
This time, though, somebody actually comes out when that music plays, and we
Yes.
see it on
And
camera.
we see it.
And we
happen.
see it in the stadium too.
Imagine John Moxley comes out to the Shield theme at Mania, and Punk's just like
Punk just kicks, like, just gives him like a big roundhouse kick.
he's
Knocks
just
him
looking
out.
like. What?
Nah.
If he came out the Wild thing, that would be even crazier.
Yo,
That would be
imagine.
actually crazier if he came out the
Bro.
Wild.
No, honestly,
Yeah.
That
what
would
if he-
would
what
sell
if
me
he-
a ticket.
What if
Yeah.
he did come back and they just like kept his name John Moxley and he just came back?
If
and
he
was
just
John
if he just
Moxley?
stayed as
I
John Moxley.
think there's a very high probability of that. I think
yeah,
there's a very
that's
high
crazy.
probability.
That'd be
a big
crazy.
If he
possibility.
comes back.
Like,
I don't know if
it's
he'll come
greater
back.
than
Yeah.
0, but it's not 50.
So I'm going to AEW.
oh,
I'm
yeah,
very
you're going to the
intrigued.
MGM show, right?
Yeah, so I'm going to Dynamite and there's Collision the night after. Get a load
When
of
is
this.
that?
Get a load of this. April 16th and
For
17th.
$88.
Well,
For 90 doll hairs, I can sit in the front row. It's not worth.
You're gonna get moved.
Of Collision. Yeah. No, I don't know if I would get moved because I don't know how the camera's going to be situated. I don't know if I'm assuming it's going to be facing the stage. Right?
Fuck
Is that
AEW,
usually
bro.
how they do it in weird places like that? I feel like that is how they do
I
it.
think so.
When
But-
they've done stages before, they've used the stage as a ramp, so I actually don't know what they're doing.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
the stage is the stage is the Tron, and they're gonna walk down an elevated ramp, I think, to the ring. But yeah. So I'm going to Dynamite. I paid about $90 or $100 for 200 level, which is like the mezzanine balcony section. But that's Dynamite. It's the actual good show. And then Collision, you can pay $90 for front row. But right now, the same section I got for Dynamite is as low as $35 for Collision. They also closed the entire third floor for Collision.
They're trying.
Yeah.
They have
Hey,
too much talent that they need shows
They
for.
have
I
way
can't-
too much talent. Oh, speaking
I
of which,
can't
did you know
fault
that
them.
in 4 weeks they're going to outlive WCW?
Wow.
That's insane.
4 more episodes of
Not
that-
AEW
deserved.
Dynamite,
Not
and
deserved.
they will officially have outlived WCW.
Not deserved.
Wait, in what capacity?
Weekly episodic TV.
What?
Not deserved in any way, shape, or form. That's crazy.
Ew.
And I don't hate AEW. I wear
I'm
that.
trying to
I
process
wear
that.
the hat often. But wow,
I
That
respect.
can't be true.
I can respect.
That is true.
AEW.
it is true because
It is
before
true.
WCW, it was like NWA for a little while as well,
Yeah.
right? Am I wrong?
No,
WCW as a
WCW has
company.
existed for like 35 years.
Well, that's what I'm
Like,
saying. But they were part of
calm down.
NWA, and it wasn't weekly television. I am
No,
very
yeah, but Nitro,
When
Nitro came out in
WCW was
95.
a
I know,
single
I got
entity,
yeah.
they didn't last that long. People forget that. Like when
Yes.
Ted Turner officially took over.
Yeah.
So
Wow,
here we are.
that's
yeah, AEW
tragic.
is only a few more weeks away from outliving fucking WCW.
I've been in talks with a friend of the pod, who owns a t-shirt press. My goal is to get a Kickout Club shirt to wear to AEW. We'll see. Emil, I've been trying to get multiple shirts. I know you
Give
want
me a
one as
hoodie.
well. Hoodie, dude, that's too much.
I would also like a hoodie.
I can't get you a hoodie. I can get you a t-shirt because that's all we have. They have a shirt, like a shirt press.
I could wait.
I don't know if I mean I'm assuming that they could do the same thing with a hoodie as well, because it's like the press itself.
I know who it is.
Yeah, I just don't want to dox them because they're not super close with me or you.
You're-
I don't think. You know, if
Oh,
you're
then
if you're
it's not.
listening, which you're probably not. Friend of a
Oh,
friend of a close friend
friend.
of us. Yes. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Not tapped into what we do at all.
You're
All right. Yeah, I was going to say, we're at an hour 40. This is the longest episode we've done yet, I think, since this new era of VWP/Kickout Club.
We treated this like Royal
VWP.
Rumble.
We treated this like the old days.
No,
Anyway.
the old days would have been 2.5 hours of nothing.
And way more chaotic.
Oh yeah.
Y'all,
We're
thank
all
you so much
subdued
for
adults.
watching.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said we're all
adults.
subdued adults now.
Oh, that's so real.
And
That's
also,
so real.
if we were in the same room, I feel like it would become chaos.
That's true. That's true. It's probably good that we aren't for these. Y'all, thanks so much for tuning in this week. As usual, we appreciate it so much. And if you appreciate us and what we do, you can show that appreciation by liking this video, leaving a comment, sharing, and doing all the things. Share these with your friends. If you're listening to us, not looking at our ugly mugs, and you can't see us, then you can leave a 5-star review, rating, and a review. Type out your favorite parts about the podcast, what we do. I don't know. Talk about your favorite food. Let us know how you rank your fast food tier list. Oh wow, y'all, this is so chaotic. Y'all, follow us on TikTok as well for the short form content if you want to get the highlights of everything that we do as well, and tap into that YouTube channel as well because I do post a lot of bonus content, a lot of bonus episodes as well. I posted videos about booking Jey Uso versus Gunther. I booked a deep dive into the Cena Cody promo this week. There's some good shit over there. So while these two clowns emote, I encourage you to go check that out. And y'all, from us to you, have a great week. We'll see you next week. Never stay down. See y'all later.